cut the music really hard. I forgot to move my microphone. Hello, folks. I don't have any makeup on. How's it going? Welcome back to the Rogue Room. I was distracted because I was looking at the Elden Ring subreddit for a second. I shouldn't be. I want to go into Elden Ring blind. Here's this for you. Us. Hello. You just caught the flex, did you? Hey. GF is just over here. Another? You like that? Yeah. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Rogue Room. Tonight's a rather chill one. As you might be able to tell, I've gotten rid of the news tag. Not really going to do news tonight. We're going to just like vibe, chill, hang out, do whatever. If I'm not distracted by Ziwa, I'm distracted by Elden Ring. I'll tell you what I'm distracted by. Let me tell you what I am distracted by. Let me start off our little... And we're going to do makeup, by the way. Let me tell you what I'm distracted by. Right, let me bring this up for you in case you missed it. So the Elden Ring Collector's Edition, and we got hugs. Draco redeemed hugs. Elden Ring Collector's Edition was announced like today, literally today. And this shit is already happening. People are, like, it's sold out on every known retailer. Like I looked at EB, JB, everywhere. I looked at the Bandai Namco site, which had like a premium edition. It's all just sold out immediately, and it's already up on eBay. Like, they don't have it yet, but they've already pre-ordered all of the pre-orders for it, and it's now being scalped already before it's available to anyone else. Well, there will be physical copies. Physical collector's editions with the statue and everything. And I want the fucking statue. I'm going to go and beat the shit out of a scalper, I guess. Come get hugs. Oh, sorry.
Oh, my neck.
Oh, fuck the spikes, goddammit.
Okay.
I'm wearing a spiked choker, and I gave her a good tight hug. No, honestly, Fox, it's not about the price. It's about the principle. This is the thing. Never, ever, ever buy from scalpers. Yeah, I'm wearing a spiked choker, which is not a good idea when you have a girlfriend who wants hugs. Don't think you've heard about this game. Really? Elden Ring's been pretty hype. It's the latest game from Software that's on its way. And it's releasing on February 25th. I was very tempted to watch the gameplay footage, which is now available. There's like 15 minutes of gameplay footage. But I don't... I've seen little bits and pieces.
The Rogue Room appreciates your
Milam.
recommendation.
Oh, wow. That's loud. Thank you so kindly, Milam, for the host. Thank you so very kindly. I kind of want to avoid watching the gameplay trailer. I've seen clips. Seen very brief clips. But I trust From Software to put out a good game. Like, believe me. They have not disappointed me since Dark Souls 2, which Dark Souls 2 was only disappointing because it was the B team. It wasn't the A team led by Miyazaki, who were working on Bloodborne at the time. So, I don't begrudge them Dark Souls 2 necessarily. I think Elden Ring is going to be great. I've kind of already predicted that. Well, I would get a statue out of it, that's the thing. There's a statue, there's a steelbook, there's all of these things. Here's the collector's edition. Can I show the collector's edition? And there's also a premium edition, which you can only get through Bandai Namco, which is also sold out. So we've got the premium edition here, which comes with a scale replica helmet from... go away, whatever.
The Rogue Room appreciates your recommendation.
Thank you, Kiara, for the host. I can barely read my own alerts. Goodness, I need to fix that. Goodness. Yeah, so we've got Malenia, Blade of Miquella is the name of this boss, apparently. So spoilers for anyone who is curious about that. But yeah, it comes with an art book, 40 pages, exclusive steelbook, digital soundtrack, this nice box, and the statue of Malenia. And then that's PS5, Xbox, PS4. I think there's also a PC version. But yeah, like the moment you've checked anywhere, and I'm going to start calling around to like local JB, EB stores and all that, and just see like maybe, because like if you go and you search the stores online, it brings up a 404 page. So if you go and you search for Elden Ring Collector's Edition pre-order, where is it? Collector's Edition Australia or whatever. Look at this. If I click on this, our princess is in another castle. So it's 404ing. I don't know if that means like I don't know if the store page is simply not available yet, or if something else is going on, but I'm honestly very, very kind of paranoid that they've all been scalped immediately, and it's just another situation with the PS5s and all of that. Which, yeah, we've been trying to get our hands on a PS5 and stuff. Anyway, that's just a thing. We're going to do my makeup shortly, don't worry. Seeing the gameplay footage, the comments of people saying the game is like a few of their games joined into one. That's what I've heard, and if that's the case, I'm super, super hella keen. Like, honestly, Dark Souls 1, even 2, like, had a few little bits that were goodish. Dark Souls 3 is honestly amazing. Bloodborne is amazing. Sekiro is holy fucking shit good. And it seems like Elden Ring is going to be the culmination of all of their tremendous hard work in making, quite honestly, some of the best games I think I've ever played. People can sell pre-orders, surprisingly. They are able to, because they're able to place the pre-orders, pay for them, get the stock, and then resell it at twice the price. It's ludicrous. It shouldn't be allowed. There should be some kind of verification system. Because it's just ridiculous that this just keeps happening. This, and then we've got EA doing this shit. EA says NFTs are part of the future of the games industry. By the way, with no explanation as to how that's going to go. So that's EA and Ubisoft. I'm just losing interest in the games industry as a whole. From Software is one of those few bastions of goodness in this space. And I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, you know, please save us, From Software. EA can go fuck itself. Ubisoft, exactly, they can. Awful, awful companies with awful, awful practices. We're going to move this over here. So I'm going to be looking straight at you while I do this. Hello. How do you do? EA, evil assholes. Absolutely. Oh. Hello. Have I seen Bloodborne PSX? I have. I'm very keen on that. All these game companies can eat your butt. Sadly, they'll only eat dollars. That's about it. Bungie can go give itself a pat on the back. Well, I've heard good things about Bungie, honestly. So, that's a plus. Even with their microtransactions, I've heard good things. So we're going to put in some moisturizer to start us off. Can I do Spider-Man face paint? Hell no. Nah. Not unless it's Spider-Gwen. But even then, no. Pardon? Yeah, true. If I do the Spider-Man thing, we'll have to do the kiss from... Which one was it? Spider-Man... Was it one? I think it was Spider-Man 1. Where Mary Jane and Peter Parker in the Spidey costume. Spidey kisses her upside down. And I remember them telling the anecdote of that story. Of like they had to film it actually in the rain. They didn't CGI rain in or whatever. And while they're doing that sequence, there's water running up Tobey Maguire's nose. Like, fuck, that'd be uncomfortable. No way. Anyways, we'll get the moisturizer out of my... Yeah, Kirsten Dunst. Which one was it? Yeah, it was Spider-Man was upside down. Anyway, so we're moisturized. Sweet. So next step, we'll let that cool. We'll let that dry a little bit. Moisturizer just like moisturizers. For anyone who's curious. This is what I use, by the way. I use Sukin. Can you like... I use that one. Facial moisture. Look at that. My camera is actually surprisingly clear and you can read that. That's incredible. For anyone who was wondering, I'm just going to simp for corporations for free. They don't even have to pay me money. I can just show you the products I use and they can benefit when you go and buy them. Hey Anita, how you going? You had to come and say hi. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Yes, Sukin. You wish you didn't have facial hair. Well, this is not exactly the best recommendation I can make, but I have had full facial laser. Not finished yet, mind you. Next up, we're doing a primer. If you don't want facial hair, that's the only thing I can recommend. I'm using this Australis Color Click stuff in Pink Lady. Color correcting primer, brighten, illuminate, and add radiance. Do I have any advice for the HSC? Don't drop out in year 9. That's... Or 10. If you want to do your HSC, don't drop out several years before you do it. I have done an alternative program for... I realize I'm doing this from my... I'm doing this from my camera, not from my mirror, which is not helping anything. I did do something equivalent to it, though, which is just like... it's important to realize that the HSC basically exists to get you into university at some point, like it's a preparatory thing. So you do your HRC. You do your HSC. I was thinking HRT and HSC at the same time. And I mean, if you're a year 12 trans person, that's probably gonna be something you might contend with. I don't know, but anyway. Yeah, it's important to remember, study. I guess study would be good. I really didn't when I did my Open Foundation, which was the equivalent of the HSC, but for mature age students. Exams start in 4 days. Crunch. Treat yourself to the Cyberpunk special and just crunch for the, what is it, 24, 48, 72, 96 hours straight. Go. Cram like a 4-pack of these down every single day, and just by the time you hit that exam room, you will die of a heart attack, and then you won't have to worry about it. So, 2 birds, 1 stone. I'm not good at advice. Don't listen to me. I'm a terrible person. It's not a monster. It's Mother, which is similar kind of thing. I do have Monster in the fridge, but I like Mother sometimes. Is the audio a bit fucky? Is it? Is anyone else hearing fucky audio? Check out some dumb selfies of Rogue. I don't go by Rogue anymore. I should change that. Advice for the HSC is it doesn't matter as much as you think for getting into uni. Mature age is not as old as it sounds, and a lot of degrees get a lot less fussy over letting you in. I want to do a medical degree, though. Like, I want to get into pathology. I want to use a scalpel and cut open people's bodies. Use that wrench thing to crack ribs open and like poke around in their hearts and lungs and shit. But I know getting into any kind of medical field is incredibly difficult. So I feel like I'm gonna become one of those trans people on social media that's like, well, actually, do you want to get into the biology thing? Yeah, we're going to use Australis Conceal Correct 4-in-1 concealer to cover up like my redness and my redness and my dark shadows. So as you can see, I've used like most of this, but there's enough on there. We're going to use, let me think. So we're going to use green to cover up the redness, and we're going to use the orange to cover up the darkness. Sorry. I forget all the time. I don't know how I managed to forget all the time, but we're going to put... I think I need to open up the other orange, actually, because this has got 2 layers to it. So I'll do that one. Also, I have to call out the racism here, Australis. Use skin tone concealers. That's orange. Can't see my face. Oh, okay. Anyway, we're just like covering up like down here. So like most of my, if I mentioned laser, basically all of my sideburn area, all under here, the sideburns on both sides is all gone. Like it doesn't grow in. I've just got like this main goatee area here is the biggest pain in the ass because it does grow back. Which is a massive nuisance, honestly. But fortunately, it's sparse enough that most of the time you don't notice it. And this is the great thing about living through a pandemic. You get to wear a mask anywhere you go in public, so nobody gets to look at that part of your face anyway. It's tremendous. Should stop wasting... I should honestly stop wasting tissues and just stick with the one. All right, green. I think I've got only a little bit of redness today. What's TAFE? So TAFE is... I've always compared it to a community college. Like if you're in America, what I understand of community colleges is basically that's TAFE. It's like a trade college kind of thing. You go there to pick up skills for like business administration or other labor force education you might need. Retail. I don't know. There's a few things there. It's more trade skills than formal education, but not like explicitly. I don't know how you would describe it. Like they've got IT courses and other things like that. Well, yeah, there are trade schools as well. What's it called? Technical and further education, if I recall correctly. So it's not like when you go to uni, you're going there to get an intellectual, academic degree sort of thing. When you go to TAFE, you're going for work skills, right? You're going to like, this isn't working. How much? Give me some foundation, you fuck. This is OXX Bloom, by the way. For anyone who can't read that, there we go. Or Ox Bloom, I guess. That's my foundation that I'm using. We're going to do that one while we continue talking about what TAFE is. I'm going to put makeup like all over my face. Because this is... like Dave Chappelle says, we trannies are doing woman face. So, you know, this is what a woman looks like, I imagine. I wouldn't know because I'm a trans-identified male, apparently. I was thinking about this recently, right? And I'm trying to, like, not think too hard about the transphobes today. Yeah, woman face. Right? What does that even mean? What does woman face even mean? Like, blackface has got a very distinct connotation. And you would think Chappelle would have been a little bit more sensitive to the use of that. Honestly. God, I look terrible. Fuck, this is awful. I look like a creature from a horror movie right now. Well, yeah, it is a reference to blackface. And you would think that he would be able to look at that and be like, maybe that is a step too far. Maybe that's a bit much. You know? But, I mean, Dave Chappelle's always been the comedian that goes to the point of a bit much. I'm gonna do that. Like, duh. But, I mean, blackface had some pretty horrific historical implications. You really can't compare that to this concept of woman face, in my view. And also, like, blackface was very distinctly like a pantomime thing, which is honestly more relevant to his performance than it would have been to trans people simply existing. Started in the circus as a means of mocking and vilifying BIPOC. Yeah, exactly. Like, trans people are not being trans, and more to the point, trans women are not wearing makeup just to mimic womanhood or what have you. I wear makeup because I actually like it quite a lot. It's become a hobby of mine that I genuinely enjoy. I'm glad I found this passion for it, honestly. It's great. It's quite relaxing. But yeah, like, woman face really doesn't carry the same weight because we're not trans women in particular, because let's face the reality of the situation. This conversation around transness still centers women, which there's a whole discussion to be had there. We're not trying to pretend to be women to mock and deride women, right? But there are, of course, a very specific subsect of individuals who believe that's exactly what's going on. Like, it's some kind of sick, perverse fetish. Yeah, Jessie Gender did 2 videos on the Chappelle thing. I have not watched her follow-up video, but the first one, the complex transphobia of Dave Chappelle, tremendous. Honestly, if you're not following Jessie Gender, do that now. Awesome individual. Had the chance to talk to her the other day, whenever it was. Whenever I was on Bad Bunny stream, we had a chance to chat, and she's really cool. We aren't mocking or vilifying cis women, but some of them sure are mocking and vilifying us, precisely. So it's a whole thing. Okay. So we've done foundation. I might get I don't know. Should I do eyeshadow first or should I do contouring first? I do have the clip actually, funnily enough. I posted it in the Discord server where we, I posted it in the Discord server. Here's the link to it. I'll bring this up for a second just because I find this highly amusing. Here we go. I'll bring it up. I'll turn the volume on. I want to, here we go. I want to hear it. Sorry, I'm strangling my mic with my headphones right now. This is amusing. Please simp for my girlfriend. She's hot, exactly. So yeah, we had a few people on, and
also you have to restart a bunch because it's so fucking hard.
Wait, there's a farming minigame.
Abigail, stop being so hot.
Yeah. There we go. See, all right.
Okay.
It's like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I've got no makeup, and I'm half awake at this point.
Hey, listen, real, non-super meme answer. They're a little bit right. Everybody's a little bit right about the.
Anyway, that was fun. That was a great stream, honestly. Putting the buy in biceps, probably a little bit. Oh, was the music even playing? Can anyone even hear that? Oh, for goodness sake, okay. Let's skip forward to a track that actually has some volume. It's because we got the Stream Beats Lo-Fi playlist on at the moment. And it's pretty chilled out, it's pretty relaxed. So, yeah, Plink Plonk Lo-Fi. Might turn the volume up just a tad. Because, you know, we're not doing ultra synthwavey kind of shit tonight. Which, I mean, I don't know why the news needs synthwave, but here we are. Yeah, we're going to do contour first. Love how dressing as a woman, her specifically cishet form of comedy. It really is, honestly. I like when you, this is the thing, right? When you look at that from the perspective of, by the way, I'm using Ox Bloom Golden Glow Marbled Bronzer, if you're curious. There's you, a lot on the camera there. Anyway, when you look at that from the perspective of anything outside the cis heteronormative perspective on things, and I suppose that just sort of speaks to the notion that comedy really is culturally relevant. If you find yourself outside of a culture, or which you could argue, like, I don't know, you could argue there's some sort of specific Western cultural leaning to those particular types of transphobic comedy. Oh, man dressed as woman. I mean, not saying that it's a specific Western type of joke, but, you know, when we begin to realize how much of that is structured around telling you that it's funny, excuse me, like, that's the point of the joke right there, is like, it's specifically instructing you to laugh at it. Am I saying the right thing here? Have you got the right... Am I making sense? I feel like I'm not making sense. Because I'm too focused on contouring my face perfectly. Like, the whole premise is predicated upon, this is funny, you can laugh now. They have to really exaggerate the point. And the whole point is, it's something you're not used to seeing. Like, that's the entire gag. This is weird. This is unusual. Like, but why is it unusual? Because you've told us it's unusual. Like, every single time I've said, and like, looking back on this now, the Mr. Garrison thing from South Park, the Ace Ventura thing, even like, this wasn't even really a joke, but the Silence of the Lambs bit, which I have to give Silence of the Lambs credit where it is due, because they do address the fact that the antagonist is not a real transsexual. Like, they do actually say that outright in the movie. While, like, the fear is addressed of the character being the archetype of the Ed Gein guy dresses up as a woman to trick women and skin them alive or something like that. They address that specifically in the movie, if I recall correctly. But at least in the comedic context, the entire premise of Man in a Dress, or any extension of that, requires you to set the joke up in such a way that it's like we're going to reach a point in this section of the comedies where I am going to expect you to laugh at the thing that I have specifically educated you on the necessity of you laughing on it. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, you're going to need to laugh at this because I told you to throughout the entire bit. It doesn't work on any other footing. Like, I'm going to put some blush on. The movie Billy is not a transsexual. Clarice specifically says that Bill is not representative of trans people. Yeah. And they use dated language, but I don't begrudge them that. If there's an older trans person who refers to themselves as a transsexual, I'm not going to be like, oh, that's a slur, you can't say that. That's just silly, honestly. Even if like a newer trans person refers to themselves as a transsexual, it's like, okay, if that label fits you, go ahead. There are plenty of jokes you don't laugh at. Exactly. What am I doing? No. I'm putting highlighter on before I'm putting blush on. Huge mistake. My God. I'm bad at this. Why are you watching me do my makeup? I am a terrible makeup artist. Even if Clarice said that, people will take the media the way they want. Honestly, a good video to watch on this specific subject. And I'm going to post a spicy hot take. Might be posting cringe right now. Lindsay Ellis's video on pop culture transphobia is a great video to watch on this subject. She really outlines, like... It kind of serves as a sequel to ContraPoints' J.K. Rowling video. So if you've seen that, definitely check out Lindsay Ellis's video. So you watch J.K. Rowling. Don't watch anything with J.K. Rowling. Watch Lindsay Ellis's video on pop culture transphobia, and then watch no, hang on. So yeah, watch the J.K. Rowling video by ContraPoints, then watch Lindsay Ellis's video. I am doing some freckling. I'm using like a lip liner because it honestly doesn't get any use. That just looks like I've wounded myself. Look at that. Fuck. It just looks like I've got acne now. Oops. I'm going to call you out now, Fox, honestly. I'm going to be mean. Okay? I don't need makeup. I don't do makeup because I need it. I do it because I like it. Distinct difference. Color in my beauty spot? Yeah, it looks like I'm bleeding. Goodness. Too much, I think. I'm trying this for the first time. You look like a doll someone painted freckles on? Yeah. I saw the blush and I thought, you know what, this would go good with freckling, but... the problem is... Hang on. I can fix one of these at least. Sucks that Silence of the Lambs had such a negative impact on the perception of trans people worldwide, because so much about that movie makes it one of the best of all time. Oh, it's genuinely great. Like, it's a tremendous movie. Even its sequels couldn't hold up to it, honestly. And it's completely understandable to not like the stereotyping, you know, like, I get it, don't get me wrong. There we go. I've tidied that up. I've got a little bit of freckly things. So yeah, Silence of the Lambs, then I think it's Silence of the Lambs, then Red Dragon, then Hannibal. And then you've got Hannibal, the TV series in 2014 onwards. So the way that works is you've got Silence of the Lambs, which I think Red Dragon comes next as a prequel to Silence of the Lambs and focuses on the character of Will Graham, instead of Clarice Starling, and then Hannibal brings Clarice Starling back, but Clarice is played by a different actress. Anyway. Yeah, they're all connected. Red Dragon was the initial novel that Thomas Harris penned, if I recall correctly. Yeah. Where's my... There it is. They made a movie out of Silence of the Lambs. You might be shocked to hear this, but that's where most people heard of it. What's kind of interesting, here's a fun fact though. Spoilers, not like very mild spoilers for the Hannibal TV series. But they did adapt Hannibal and Red Dragon into the TV series. And they were planning on adapting Silence of the Lambs, but the series got cancelled. And they were planning on, get this, if I recall correctly, it was Brian Fuller who said this. He wanted to bring in Elliot Page to play the role of Clarice. Which would have been an interesting casting decision. They already did what? Oh, did they? That would honestly, that makes sense with the name. Yeah, what did I call her again? There's a character in the show called Freddie Lowndes who is apparently gender bent from the books. And I made a joke at the name Freddie. Fredwood? I called her Fredwood? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Oh, the connector was 1/2 a millimeter out of place. Fuck. There you go. Okay, so we've done most of the face. You can see I've contoured, I've highlighted, I've blushed. I didn't fix this up. I should fix this up, actually. Because, yeah, that just looks like I'm wounded. More people should try and be Red Dragon. That sounds like a bad idea. Anyway. But yeah, I've seen all 3 of those movies. I love all of them. So for anyone who doesn't know, I actually do have a beauty mark there. Otherwise known as a fucking mole. And it's, because I mentioned earlier, I still have to shave my face sometimes. I nick it all the fucking time. Like, honestly. You fucking mole. Is that a thing that anyone says anywhere else? Like, I feel like that's exclusively an Australian vernacular. Pardon? You've never heard anyone call someone a mole? Oh, yeah, it's a derogatory term. Yeah, like I don't know if it's necessarily misogynist, but I have heard it used to refer to women a lot, honestly. So that is something to consider, at the very least. But yeah, it's definitely an Aussie only thing. I've heard it quite a bit. I've heard quite a few people be like, "Oh, you such a fucking mole." Usually just referring to an undesirable person, like someone you don't like. Someone who said some shit that you don't agree with, or whatever, I don't know. First time you heard it was in Puberty Blues? There we go. Slang is interesting. I remember the time somebody tried to insult me, probably on the Bird app. I can't recall. I don't remember every interaction I've had on the Bird app. Because despite being terminally online, I don't keep track of all these things like some people obsessively do. But I do recall one time somebody called me cunty. No, hunty. Sorry, they called me hunty as a derogatory. And see, the thing is, I had to ask them what the fuck they were talking about. It's like, were you trying to insult me just now? Because I don't know what that word actually means, love. Hunty, not cunty. And they ended up asserting to me that it was a combination of cunt and honey. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, if you're calling me a cunt, yeah, like I'm taking that as a term of endearment no matter which way you swing it. Sorry, sweets. I am currently using a taupe colored eyeshadow. I'll show you this one, not this one here.
Thank you for continuing your
Punky.
membership.
Thank you for
MHMMN.
the Prime sub. And required Yump, how you going? Welcome in. We're doing my makeup. And just honestly chatting and chilling about whatever. We've been conversing over media to an extent. So I'm just doing like basically a base coat with this eyeshadow. Honey cunt sounds delicious. How do you like your cunt? I prefer mine honeyed, actually. Oh, I like a nice sweet chili cunt, if I'm honest. Isn't it strange that word is such a... honestly, it's amusing how it is so casual and blasé in Australian vernacular. And yet, across the world, it's one of the most horrific things you can say to a person. I'm like, are y'all okay? Like, when someone says to me, it's like, oh, get thick of skinny people are making fun of you for being a tranny. And I'm like, I could call you cunt and you would break down in tears for some reason. Get over yourselves. You put sriracha on you. Oh my god. Please don't. Jesus. So I'm doing a little layer of eyeshadow underneath as well. F's in chat. It's basically a vagina. Maybe that's why there are so many people who are afraid of the word. Because they're afraid of vaginas. Makes sense. There we go. Okay, that's my base coat of eyeshadow. Which you can't really... honestly, you can barely see that it's making a difference. But it's just meant to serve as a... if you did that, you'd need a milk douche. Oh gosh. I'm just thinking of the infection potential there. Ugh. Please no. I do know who Gothix is. I really don't want to look into her content. She's a horrible reactionary bitch. I don't care. She can stay the fuck off my content, honestly. Like, she went from being a pretty popular streamer trying to do the whole, oh, I'll help you grow your stream thing, look at how great my content is thing, and then she pivoted hard right, I'm voting Donald Trump, all this shit. I was like, nah, bro. I'm pretty sure when that happened, a huge portion of the streaming community dropped her entirely. Like, she's been exiled from that group, but she's landed among the reactionary right-wing crowd, and I'm like, okay, whatever, bitch. Vulvas are so cute, though. I mean, that's a thing that I just had to read. Okay. I don't disagree. It's just it's an interesting phrase to conceptualize. It's hilarious because she got so upset when the other leftist called her a conservative. I mean, she's literally outright admitted it. Or when the left... Who was it she debated? I saw Vosh had a video up of him reacting to their debate. I know the name off the top of my head, on the tip of my tongue, sorry. I can't think of who it was. I can't think of who she was debating. No, not Dylan Burns. It wasn't Dylan Burns. Maybe Dylan Burns was like a mediator, but she was debating someone else. How are you going to get mad at being called conservative if you support Trump? Is it Hunter? Hunter Avalon? Is that who I'm thinking of? I don't know. I don't really keep up with debate bro culture, honestly. I'm one of those people that reads the news and worries about the climate more than anything else. That's who it was? Okay. Okay, I didn't mention. I forgot to mention. I was putting on more makeup there while I was talking. I was just using this espresso color. This one here. So we did the taupe, which is this one. Then we put the espresso, which was just like... As you might be able to see, just put it like on the middle going out, and then I did the same on the underside. She claims to be politically homeless. I'll tell you why. Because she's spineless. She doesn't commit to anything. That's the problem. She's a populist through and through, who has no actual political... She has no political home because she'll only say things that she knows are going to rile people up or get people to watch her. That's it. She doesn't have any actual political standing of any kind. She's just saying things to get views. So if she's politically homeless and that's the thing she's actually concerned with, that's her own fault. Fuck her. Honestly. That's the impression I've always gotten just from the outside looking in. No, not Keffals. Gothics. I mean, supporting Trump isn't really... I mean, it's still conservative, but it's just far-right conservative at this point. And, I mean, what counts as far-right anymore? I don't even know. The fash are out and about and proud of it, so... I'm now putting a chocolate eyeshadow on the corners of my eyes. Which is it's a bit messy, but I am going to tidy it up a little. Okay, so I've done that. Which looks okay. It looks nice. Gotta quickly clean this off. I might actually just... This might work. I don't know. I've got a little scrubby thing, and you brush the brush on it, which is supposed to get rid of the makeup on it. Let me check. Keffals is a gem, yeah. I wish I had... I honestly wish I had more political knowledge. I feel like I'm a very, very dumb person that people listen to for some reason. I wish I had more capacity to participate in panel discussions and things of that nature. Or whatever else. Anyway, so I'm going to use this brush here, which is different to the other brush I was using. This is double-ended. These are both double-enders. I like to keep my double-enders close. Saying you don't have a political ideology or say you're a centrist without clearly supporting parts of the left is also spineless. Precisely. So we're going to blend. This is a blender brush. I'm going to blend from the outside in. Sort of bring that dark across a little. Then from the dark they came, and found the souls of lords within the flame. Anyway, the topic was on trans people, of course. I mean, I do remember recently she got thoroughly trashed by the streamer community because she said, I don't believe trans women are women. It's like, well, nobody asked you, cishet. Who gives a fuck? It's not your point. It's literally none of your concern. Pardon? Oh, what'd your message say? Believe they call it imposter syndrome. Well, possibly. This is the issue I have. Is like I severely doubt my intellectual capacity and my abilities. And yet people still tell me I'm smart and clever. And I don't know if that's helping or hindering. Because I do appreciate it. But I also, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I'm entertaining. The thing. Ah, yes, the BBC has removed Lily Cade's contributions to that article, which is good. But they didn't issue an apology or anything. Yeah, no apology, just an acknowledgement. Anyway, centrist is just conservative, but you realize that doesn't get you laid. Fuck. Okay, so I've cleaned off this brush, which is what I was applying the eyeshadow with. And I'm going to take some bronze glittery shadow here. I haven't done this look in a while. And I'm going to apply that into the corners of my eyes here, so like this. So, like in there. I don't know if you can even really see it, honestly. I could do with some, like, much brighter glitters, honestly. And they exist, don't get me wrong, they're out there. I've mainly been, for a long time, dealing with much more neutral, natural tones. Because there's my makeup tip of the night, honestly. Is if you're starting out with makeup, start with natural tones. Don't go immediately into like bright, flashy colors. Because you will end up in clown face. I'm just going to ruin that for you now. Pardon? Yeah. It sucks, you know. Figure out how to do your makeup before you start doing all the ridiculous colors. which I still haven't, but I'm a little bit more confident with it now. Excuse me. Let me just wipe my nose a bit. So. Oh, great. My nose is running, and it's also wiping my makeup off. I'm wasting tons of tissues. This is a problem. Anyways, what you got to do is take time to educate yourself, which is what I do, but I mainly read the news is the problem. And it's one of the issues is like, yeah, read theory, which I don't know where the resources are to read theory aside from books, and books are expensive, especially theory books. There is a lot of public domain shit, but then also like a lot of old theory that a lot of people have read and researched tends to be very, like we were talking about Marx the other night. Marx is very hard to read. So you got to read things that were written by people who've read Marx and understand it. The Marx understanders. Google Scholar might help you. Which Marx? Christy Marx. There are massive libraries for anarchist and socialist literature, which is, yeah. There's one in particular I'm thinking of at the moment. I can't think of what it's called. Anyway. The Marx Brothers, who then went on to become the Wachowski sisters. Anyway, Neon Pink, don't do Neon Pink until you can sufficiently... Yeah, I think Anarchist Library is one of the ones I'm thinking of. I got to go through there again. I think I do recall reading the Communist Manifesto. I got through that one. So I'm at the very least mildly informed on what communism is. Like very, very marginally. I'm just doing like a very... I'm not doing... I'm sketch on Liquid Liner, because you might have seen my tweet trashing on this garbage. Models Prefer. Don't buy this. Don't buy Models Prefer. It's crap. Honest to goodness trash. I tried it. I hate it. So I'm just doing a bit of... I've got a slanted brush liner here. A brush with some... Just honestly, I've got the black from this palette. And like, honestly, I feel like most palettes have got black in them. Or at least finding a black eyeshadow is not going to be difficult. And I'm just putting that on with this slanted liner brush. There we go. I think I need a little more. I can't tell. This is tricky. Okay, so hang on. Have I seen the comparisons between when the government does a thing versus when the people do to make the government better? No, I have not. Have we been going for an hour already? Goodness. Well, an hour in dog years. There we go. So I've done my liner. It comes in there. Can we see my hair? Well, I'm going to do my hair in a minute. After I'm done with this. And I put some... I might put another layer on this, actually. Which, this is the side you're not going to see when I'm done. So I don't know why I'm putting effort into it. And we still got... lashes to put on and lippy after this. So we're not even done yet. You recommend Mao's On Contradiction? It's short and readable and useful even for anarchists. I'll give it a look. I'm a terminally online dipshit who doesn't pay a lot of attention to the actual educative literature that I should be paying attention to. Self-respect, it is a little bit. There's a little tiny amount of self-respect here. I would like to learn more ridiculous makeup looks, honestly. There we go. We got a little bit going on. Mainly gothy ones. I'd like to learn how to do some like really big, flashy, gothic wings. That kind of stuff. We're done with the eyeshadow. Okay, so done with those brushes. So I'm going to put mascara on, and then we're going to put lashes on. So I've got lashes here. Need a shower. Sounds good. Sounds good. You don't wear makeup much anymore, but if you have blue eyes, typically brown eyeliner and not black. Well, that's a good point, actually. Black lipstick. No, I've got a grey. I've got a grey lipstick I'm going to wear tonight. Which I was wearing the other night, but yeah. It's a nice lippy. And it stays on. Here we go. We were trashing on one product before. Let's scream the praises of another. This Maybelline Superstay is fucking great. I should, yeah. I'd have to let it set though. But then, yeah. Yeah. There's someone I can help test the lipstick. Who's in the next room. Just to show off. Anyways. Do I know it's Black Friday? I did not know that. Is that why all the Elden Ring Collector's Editions are out of stock? Seriously, I'm calling around to every known games retailer I can find tomorrow. And I'm going to do my mascara going down first. I'm calling every one of them and asking if there is any pre-orders available for the Elden Ring Collector's Edition. Because it's kind of disheartening that they announce it, it's available, and it's gone instantly. Like, if this is seriously a situation where scalpers have bought every single pre-order of that fucking Collector's Edition, I will be pissed. Oh, the channel, it's Black Friday. Oh, okay, no. I did not know that. I will check that out, actually. One of my favorite looks has been there's this tired look I do every now and again, where I put like a bunch of really heavy sort of pinkish eyeshadow under my eyes and bring it down the sides of my nose just a bit. Then like I put like a bit more of that pinkish around the sides of my nose, on the tip of my nose. And it ends up looking really good, like once you blend it properly. I think I've got some pictures of that one on my Instagram. I should do it again at some stage. But yeah, we've been trying to get our hands on a PS5 lately. And I'd like to play Elden Ring on PS5. I mean, I can get it on Steam, of course. But I want that collector's edition specifically because I want that damn statue. Here's the thing though, right? I've mentioned before that video games are getting prohibitively expensive. Especially with like the advent of NFTs and shit like that. Alright. My lashes look okay. I don't look atrocious. Let's do the falsies now. We're going to put the falsies on top of that. And I'm going to use my tweezers to apply them. Which you don't need to do, but you can. But yeah, it's kind of dire out there with regards to this shit. But also, just like on the pricing front, even without the consideration of scalpers and all that sort of stuff, the Elden Ring Collector's Edition is $400 Australian. $400. Games have gotten ridiculously more expensive. It's insane. And then yeah, like and like we've already had the advent of microtransactions being the most atrocious thing the world has ever had to experience in terms of gaming. All right, so what I'm gonna do, for anyone who doesn't know how to do lashes, falsies, you get a little bit of glue, you put it on the edge of the lash thing, you let it sit for like 20-30 seconds. Okay, so I'll let that sit. No, don't face down, please. I'll put some on the other one. Because the glue has to get a bit tacky, basically. And then, once that's done, You wouldn't feel comfortable putting glue near your eyes? Nor would I, but I do it anyway. Because I'm not smart. So I'll put this just at the edge of my lash line. And stick that down. Same with the other one on the other side. Like with all of these things, don't get the product actually in your eye. But there we go. They look, I love them. Like, I feel so much fucking prettier with these on. It's ridiculous. Good feeling, good feeling. Good gender euphoria. Good job, class. Alright, final thing. Lipstick. It's not really... What's the color? This one is called Huntress. And it's a grey, but it's like a slightly browny grey. Yeah, slightly purpley. Anyway. I'm not good at applying this kind of lipstick. Looks a bit strange. There we go. What do you reckon? Smudge, what are you doing? He's going behind my door. There we go. Why is my cat licking things? What's he doing? Alright, that's the whole thing. I could comb my eyebrows a little bit. Which... Oh, Smudge, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, there's a bug in here. He's chased a bug into my room. And it's behind the door and he's trying to get it. Anyway. There we go. So, final thing. Give it a good shake. This is your lasting fix. This is Maybelline as well. I don't know if Maybelline is a particularly ethically reprehensible brand. They probably are, but I haven't done any research, so forgive me. But anyway, Smudge being a hunty. Anyways, there we go. So I've done most of that. We're just going to do the primer now. Not primer, the, what's it called? Setting spray. I'm going to quickly put my other stuff away and then... I haven't disappeared, don't worry. Foundation, there we go. Alright. Oh, okie doke. Then we'll fiddle around with hair. I'm not really going to style or anything. I don't really do styling. At best, maybe I'll put dry shampoo or hairspray in if I'm feeling it, but I'm not really. So, you know, do with that information what you will. All right, roughly 25, 30 centimeters away. Let that set. Should you strat? What does strat mean? There we go. So now I gotta let that sit on my face for a little while. That's all that done. Should you start wearing women's clothes? If you feel that would make you comfortable. If you would feel happy in that, then go ahead. Also, just like for no particular reason. My Switch is here. It's just sitting on my desk. Last thing I was playing was Skyrim. I think. Yeah. I'm still playing Skyrim apparently. But I couldn't keep playing it because the controller drift was making it impossible for me to cast spells, which is a bit difficult as an illusion build. Anyway. I've reinstalled Skyrim on my PC again, which is an atrocious idea. Honestly, a very, very bad idea. You like wearing typically feminine clothing? Yeah, I know you do. That dress over there that I bought for you. Which is covered up by my dress, actually. From the other night.
Your gift to our patronage is most appreciated, friend.
This is not fair. You're making me look far more bougie than I am by giving me tons of gift subs. Thank you so much, Princess. Goodness gracious me. You need to run back to your Final Fantasy raid. Sounds good. Oh my goodness. You are an absolute delight, you are. You know that? You're a treat. You're an absolutely wonderful person. Thank you for gifting subs to Jalapeno423, Steps Hyena, Milan Biazzi, and Mrs. Lalante, who I haven't seen in a bit. I hope Mrs. L is doing okay. And Nitorism. Nitorism? I don't know. Anyways, so I look so different today because I'm wearing green. Yeah, that's the reason. Alright, I'm going to fiddle with my hair a little bit. Gonna wear the dress tonight and we'll both have tartan on. We will. Okay, hairbrush. You like this top? I like it. It's pretty cute. I got this. I think this is a hand-me-down or hand-me-up. I don't know. My sister gave it to me. Anyway. Hello, BL9. How's it going? So what I'm thinking is I'm going to brush my hair forward. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do like an emo thing. I'm beautiful. Thank you. You know what's crazy though, Ziwa? You can see it in person though. Like everyone else is catching this in like dodgy maybe 720p. If they're lucky, you can come and look, but I got hair all over my face right now. It's not really the best for it. Hey, you. Okay. Is this a look? Is this a look, folks? Is this how you do? Is this how you do, face? Oh, gross. You could, actually, I might be wrong, you can see my armpit hair that I haven't shaved in like a week. Anyways. Ziwa can see it in person. It is pretty gay. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty fucking gay. Like, imagine having a girlfriend. That's the gayest shit in the world, dude. Like, okay, so there we go. You love the neck thing, the choker, stabber. It's multifunction, so you can strangulate yourself. It's a murder-suicide device. Oh, you want this? Yeah. No, I'm good. There you go. You can steal it from me. There we go. So now I've like sort of made my fringe and now I'm tucking it behind my ears. Or I've tucked the fringe, sort of fringe, whatever this is, whatever this dealio is. Abby tucking? What is this? I don't tuck. What the fuck? Excuse me. I'm a classy tran. I let that bitch flow free wherever she wishes. Not to shame people, yeah. You know what I think? Oh no, I think I've ruined it. Hang on. Yeah, I might need it actually. Hang on. I might be able to fix this. Don't worry, I might be able to just chuck it down there. Might be able to resolve this. Yeah, I think what I need to do. Okay. Her dick bounces femininely. He has killed her. You've killed Maddie. Fucking Christ. Her cock bounced femininely as she penised down the stairs. I can't. Does Maddie live with you at this point, basically? Not specifically. Like, we're not. Cohabitation. Yeah, I think I need to fix this. I think I've mucked this up. It's alright. That's cute. This is cute. Oh, you know what? There's a missing piece in this puzzle.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The hat. Pull this down so my tits don't get pulled up through the bottom of it. Yeah. What's great about having a mirror right in front of your face is you can just look down and see where the fucking stray hairs are that keep latching onto your lip. Anyways, there we go. That's makeup. That were the makeup. You can steal it if you want, yeah. Now I can't see where those stray hairs are though. Oh yeah, also this has got like little ties in it, which I think if you wanted to, you could put your hair up and tie these little straps around the ponytail or whatever to fasten the hat to your head. Anyways, got a girlfriend like 2 months after I met you. There we go. Hello. Okay. We're all set. We're all done. To continue just hanging out, honestly. We're just like, we're not doing the heavy shit tonight. I mean, we've dipped our toes in here and there. There's something in newsroom. Okay. Cute witch aesthetic, which is the vibe, honestly. A bit of a meme. Let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Let's have a look at this. Sydney's Inner West Light Rail will be decommissioned, in quotes, for 18 months due to major cracks in the wheel arches of all 12 tram sets. The government says the 18-month decommissioning is the worst case scenario, but it's a dramatic change on previous predicted outrage of a month. Outage, not outrage. Why do I do that? Where is my cat? Oh, okay. Anyway, oh, you guys, okay, I thought you two were talking about, like, me, because I'm the streamer. Anyway, what's he doing? Is he going under here? Yeah. Honestly, I got a cat. We were off in our outage predictions by 18 times isn't good. Yeah, exactly. Little bit much, innit? I have to have the cat now. He's not allowed to escape. He's trying to hunt something and I'm like, no, you're not allowed. You have to take you have to take my compassion and my heart and my love. Oh yeah, speaking of my heart and my love, Maddie bought me new batteries for my fairy lights. Nice dog. Yeah, he's a weird dog. He doesn't, well, actually, I was going to say he doesn't bark, but actually sometimes he does. So, he chirps. Not sure what animal he thinks he is. Like the other day, yeah, you have to give me clout. The other day somebody came into chat, it might have even just been yesterday actually, where somebody was like, can an animal identify as another animal or something like that? And I'm like, I could show you my cat chirping. I got video of it, if you want. He makes noises that sound like a dog at times. So, I mean, maybe? I don't fucking know, mate. Why are you concerned with that? Is that a big question you desperately need answered? Oh, goodness. Your cat plays fetch. That's adorable. Well, my cat kind of does, but only with a laser pointer. Hang on. Here he is. Gotta be careful here because I got a skirt on. We're doing cat stream. Come on. Come on, what are you doing? No, he's not interested now. He's given up on it. Come on. He would sooner drag himself to it than actually chase it. Anyway. Do you want to... Oh, oops. You going to take it or are you going to leave it? Your childhood dog would do this almost purring thing. Oh, speaking of... Pardon? Oh, is that what you're doing? Okay. You used to have a fat alpha cat. Alpha cat sounds based. Better than alpha dog. Okay, let's see if I can do this without exposing myself in some way. Let's put my little light filters back in. I feel like I'm going to have to eventually buy a new set of these. I remember, honestly, fun fact, I have flashed my stream on one occasion. Not intentionally. But back when I was very early in my transition, I was wearing a top without a bra. I've got it in the water if I can show you. And I leaned forward and Ren thankfully DM'd me after the stream, or during the stream, was like, oh, you kind of flashed the stream there, and I went back through the VOD. I was like, oh shit, that's a whole ass tit. That was kind of before I had tits though, so it doesn't count. It was probably hypothetically still a male nipple at the time, you know. Anyway, VOD's deleted. You'll never see that.
Oh, it's backed up. Backed up though.
And deleted the whole VOD and any videos associated with it. Yeah, so just fun fact. Can I get an yeah, there you go. That's as much effort as I'm willing to put into that one. Oh, okay. What do we got here? I've got some stuff that we can look at on stream. These photos show the food parcels provided to a young relative instead of free school meals. The one on the left from last winter was meant for 2 weeks. The one on the right is to cover this half term, i.e. 1 week. I'm not sure what the context is. I'm confused. What a difference Marcus Rashford makes. You are very pretty. Everyone tell my girlfriend she's pretty now or I'll smack you. I can't tell if there is a hair on my lip or if there's just like... I don't know. Also, cats of all sizes seem to have the if it fits, I sits behavior. I've seen this before, actually, yeah. Well, I haven't seen this specifically, but I've seen this kind of thing before. Yeah, cats will find like a square or something that's a very convenient size for them to fit into. They like the, I don't know what exactly it is. They like the sense of this is my space. I want to do an experiment one day if I ever own my own house. I'm going to tile my bathroom. And I'm going to have all white tiles on the floor except for one black tile and see if my cat takes that as his own. Ziwa pretty. Ziwa very pretty. The UK gives food parcels to those who are not at school. Those who would need free school meals or the kids would starve. Oh, okay, so that's what we're looking at. Anyway, the one on the left is really small food to last longer time, but the one on the right is for a shorter time. Is there a reason you're being so incessantly rude? Thank you, Ziwa. Well, you might get to explain yourself now because you're a fucking pathetic loser, but anyway, so yeah. So what we've got here, the one on the right is to cover this half term, i.e. 1 week. That's to cover 1 week? Was meant for 2 weeks. This was meant for 2 weeks. I see. Anyway, thanks for the hydration. Yeah, Ziwa's fucking gorgeous. You don't know what you're talking about. Big Cat Rescue on YouTube has some funny videos of tigers and leopards sitting in big boxes. I'm genuinely curious. Like, well, I'm not that curious. I don't care that much about these people whose opinions don't matter in the grand scheme of things. But like, why go out of your way to just attack someone that you've never seen before? It's just honestly pathetic behavior. You know, it's crucially, chronically pathetic behavior. Why do that to yourself? Why be such a toxic individual? To what end does it serve? Honestly. What did the dipped chit say? I'm not going to repeat it because it's just reprehensible. It's like, seriously, be a kinder person. I feel like that individual is dealing with a lot of... There's my babe. I feel like that particular individual is dealing with a lot of repressed rage at the world, and they're taking it out on everyone else. There is something on my lip. Motherfucker. I can't... There's like a hair. There's like a hair or something. Someone just report it. Anyway. Someone report that loser. Okay, there's an eyelash or something. It could be a stolen account just trying to get someone banned. I don't know. I got it. It's a little bit of fluff or something. It's not even an eyelash. It's a little fiber of something that was stuck on my lip. Anyway, yeah, it's just pathetic. Like, that kind of behavior is just pathetic, chronically. I can't imagine being that person. Oh, I'm going to insult someone that's special to you. Is there no one in your life that's special to you? Because that's the message I'm reading from it. Honestly. You got black lipstick, it looks bad. Oh no. I've got a cheap black lippy over here, which looks bad. Yeah. I'm looking at getting something that's similar in quality to this, because this stuff stays on and it's really good. You know. Like, dude, you were doing so well. Were they though? Probably not. Probably not, honestly. I don't get it. I wish I understood it. Some days I wish I understood it, but, you know. I just don't think I can. I don't think I'm capable of understanding that kind of mindset. I've never grasped that idea of I'm going to attack somebody based purely on just, like, nothing, really. Just not even anything. Never understood that mindset of I'm going to try to cause someone harm. I don't get it. If there's a valid reason, like someone spouting some bullshit toxic ideology, then yeah, of course. That's different. Anyway, Ziwa is adorable, and we are both very lucky. But can I attack Chris Pratt for a second though? Wear hats, I agree. Scary. How you doing? Can I, like, I'm sure we're all sick of Chris Pratt at this point. It's reached a point now where it's like, stop trying to make Chris Pratt happen. It's not going to happen. You know, that's the mindset that I think a lot of people have adopted lately. He's rich and famous, and he's white. We're allowed to attack him. What did Chris Pratt do? He's part of a homophobic megachurch, for one thing. But that's not the main issue. The main issue I have is this post on Instagram that he posted, not really for any specific, like, issues necessarily, just that this is super fucking weird. Just let's go through this together. Zergling, I hope you enjoyed your Halloween too. And yes, everyone, continue being awesome to each other. We're not going to be awesome to Chris Pratt though, because, like, stop giving this guy jobs. Yeah, why is he going to be Mario? Anyway. Garfield's supposed to hate Mondays, not man gays. Was that legit? Good night, Echo. Have a good one. So, here's this post by Chris Pratt. Guys, for real, look how she's looking at me. I mean, find you somebody that looks at you like that. You know, we met in church. She's given me an amazing life, a gorgeous, healthy daughter, which is, like, I get that he's referring to her specifically, but it's worth noting he has a disabled son, so it's really odd to bring that up specifically. She chews so loudly that sometimes I put my earbuds in to drown it out, but that's love. She helps me with everything. In return, periodically, I open a jar of pickles. That's the trade. Her heart is pure, and it belongs to me. My greatest treasure, right next to my Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie card. That's the weirdest bit so far. Which, if you know, is saying a lot. I place an incredibly high value on a baseball card. It's her birthday in about 6 weeks, so if I don't get her anything, says the millionaire with staff, I'll tell her to look back on this post. Love you, honey. This is just, I don't know what it is. There's something about this very hetero post, very uncomfortably hetero post, that just rubs me the wrong way. Does anyone get this vibe? Like, I'm just the main thing that sticks out to me primarily, the three major things. A gorgeous, healthy daughter. Healthy. That almost feels like a jab at the disabled son. And then comparing her, my greatest treasure, right next to a baseball card. And it's her birthday in 6 weeks. If I don't get her anything, like, dude, you could literally just pay someone to get her something. But here's a social media post I made. Like, this is a very strange thing. I don't know. About the guy you were talking about before, have you ever trolled someone for the fun of it? Don't think you have, but it's a thing a lot of people do. It definitely is a thing a lot of people do, but it's like, why? What end does it serve? You know? Your vibe at this post made me want to become fully gay and move to a gay forest commune. Do it. My wife's love is comparable to an object I own, and it's worth noting, like, what's this smile? Is it just me, or does this specifically look like a face app smile that's been slapped on there? He doesn't look right. He looks odd. There's something robotic about him. I feel like, here's the thing. Especially given how many voice roles he's been getting in Hollywood lately. I feel like Chris Pratt knows that some film producer ran over a crippled kid with his car.
Thank you for continuing your membership.
Clara Hope, thank you so kindly for the
Purple
Prime.
Heart.
Given the gigs he's been getting lately, given how much Hollywood seems to be pushing Chris Pratt, I feel like he's got dirt on someone important. Just saying right now, Chris Pratt, he's from a cult. I mean, yeah, true. Chances are the people he's working with to get these good gigs are in the same cult. Did I see... we already covered all the Lily Cade stuff over the past few days, Sabercat, honestly. I've got 2 videos up. One covering for anyone who missed it, anyone who's not on my YouTube channel, we might as well take a look at it right now because I want you to look at my YouTube channel. I got 2 videos up, one from last week. Let's talk about that BBC article. And then today's video, actually. TERF porn star calls to lynch trans women. For anyone who missed it, these 2 sort of work in tandem. My YouTube is this one right here. Oh, what did I just do? Fuck it, just that. There we go. I got 2 of them. One of them is for VOD backups. The other is for... oh, what am I doing? I forgot to change this. The other one is for... the main channel is mostly stream highlights and occasional video essays. And the off channel is for VODs. But you'll notice... Unfortunately, and I noticed this after I did the other stream the other night, where we covered the Lily Cade thing specifically, where we covered her ridiculously psychotic manifesto, and I realized calling it a manifesto is a bit dishonest, but that's honestly just a word I'm using for impact at this point. We covered that, and I didn't realize there was a side banner image that was a screenshot from one of her pornographic videos. You couldn't really make anything out, quite frankly, but there was very distinctly a nude woman in it who was covered with other women, as far as I can tell, who were wearing clothes. And as I'm going back through editing the video from that segment, I'm like, oh shit, I need to cut that out. And I went back and deleted that VOD. So that one's not available to watch. So the whole VOD from that stream, unless I go back and cut that section out of the video and put it up publicly, you won't catch that VOD at least, because I got to cover my ass here. I didn't realize it until after the fact. Very risky. Always have someone screen the websites you click on the internet. This is why I don't just scroll my Twitter feed on stream, because I have friends who very much enjoy posting their buttholes. So when I'm looking at Twitter, I am very exclusively looking at threads that I have a link to. Okay? I'm not going to have you exposed to my friends' buttholes. They're very nice, don't get me wrong. But... I can't show that on Amazon.com's Twitch.com.tv/video games. Having a second screen is good for screening stuff, that it is. You'll be scrolling your Twitter and suddenly dick, yeah. In some cases it'll be like ass, it'll be butthole, it'll be dick, and it'll be tits all in one image, all on the same body. It's like It's a whole show. It's a whole show. Anyway. Reddit is a bit rude, yeah, there's that too. But unfortunately my main Reddit is not. I don't look at any NSFW stuff on Reddit. You need new friends. I don't even remember how I met those friends. It's just happened over time. I feel like there's like honestly a not insignificant number of sex workers who legitimately just stream on Twitch just to play video games, but they also happen to be the kind of person who enjoys getting railed on camera for 43 minutes. So, you know, I end up networking with people who are like, oh, this is a cool streamer, I'm going to go check their stream out. Later on, I found out they've got an entire library of just hardcore porn available for $6.99 on OnlyFans. So, yeah, based AF. This is a pro sex work stream. Anyways, she was, pardon? What? Never mind. I've got 2 monitors actually, so I don't really need to worry. 43 minutes is a very specific amount of time. I like these things to be specific. It adds weight to the joke. You know? If you just say any random amount of time, well, I mean, that is a random amount of time, but you say it with confidence and it comes across specific, and that's the humorous point of it. Should be able to get a decent second screen. Well, that'd be nice. I want a third screen. I want 4 screens. Give me 5, actually. I'd like a cat, for God's fucking sake, dude. He's losing his mind over here. I want a screen over here for just chat, which is like vertical. I want a vertical chat screen. Then I want like a big monitor up here for games, quite frankly. I think that'd be pretty swell. Big TV mounted to the wall. Pardon? And I could hook my my video gaming consoles up to it. Where are we? You were surprised the BBC didn't just Google her name. I think it served their agenda well to not do as much research as they possibly could, because let me see if I 43 minutes with an additional 2 minutes outro plugging your Let's Play. let's just flash back to this for a second. I honestly think the BBC didn't just commit a bad journalism and didn't source check. I'm of the opinion, and yes, this is pink news, but they're reporting on it. Trans sex worker went unpublished by BBC because she didn't fit their narrative. Let's talk about the fact that I'm very, very certain the BBC was well aware of the fact of who Lily Cade was, what the allegations were against her. Now, don't get me wrong, the manifesto that was published came after the article, and it was only after the massive backlash to that did BBC remove the segment regarding her in the English-only version of the article. It's still available in Portuguese and another language, where you can see the entire Lily Cade section, right? But anyway, the trans porn actor has said that she was interviewed by the BBC for its now infamous anti-trans story, despite the journalist claim that no one with an opposing viewpoint would speak to her. And I mean, honestly, given the context of the story, this alone says to me, this segment here, this claim that no one with an opposing viewpoint, would speak to her, says to me you shouldn't have published the piece in the first place. If you can't find a source from the opposite side, then don't publish the article. Don't write it. There's no reason to. You don't have the whole story to actually put out there. But we know that's not exactly what was going on. So, as we're all well aware, the BBC published the article, blah, blah, blah. We're all well aware of that. Those interviewed by journalist Carolyn Lowbridge included anti-trans pressure groups Get the L Out, there's a whole story there, an LGBT alliance, as well as transphobic porn star Lily Cade, who after the article's publication posted an extremist manifesto on her blog calling for trans women to be lynched. The reason that's in quotes is because, yes, she literally did call for certain trans women to be lynched by name. Anyway, in her story, Lowbridge wrote that she had contacted several high-profile trans women who have either written or spoken about sex and relationships, but claimed none of them wanted to speak to me. Now a trans porn performer and activist is disputing this claim. Chelsea Poe told Pink News that she was contacted via Twitter on the 2nd of September 2020 by Lowbridge, who asked if she would do an interview about the cotton ceiling. Cotton ceiling is a concept coined by porn star and trans activist Drew DeVoe, and describes the inherent prejudice that many cisgender lesbians have against trans women, reducing them to their genitals even when they are outwardly accepting. It is not about an individual's sex decisions, which should only be made freely and with full enthusiastic consent, of course. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that, but the article that was mentioned here definitely paints the picture that there's seemingly a lot of trans women who disagree with not informed consent. With enthusiastic consent. Anyway. That's basically being hanged, to sum up. How do we strictly define a lynching? Okay, I'm going to type this in capitals. extrajudicial killing by a group. So I don't think it's necessarily hanging, but hanging is what it's most associated with. So it's a group of people executing someone outside the law, obviously. Does she live in the USA? I think Lily Kate is from California, yeah. At the moment, yeah. California at the moment. Next day, she and Lowbridge. So anyway, hang on, let's go back a bit. Poe agreed to the interview despite the toxic discourse that surrounds the term because she saw the interview as an opportunity to discuss trans inclusion in the porn industry. Next day, she and Lowbridge conducted the interview via Zoom. I really tried to focus on my industry because I believe it's about systemic discrimination rather than me trying to explain anyone's sexuality, she said. Like the policy that put trans women into a marginalized niche for so many years that was filled with stereotypes and slurs. Excuse me. Luckily, the industry has become more inclusive over the years due to people like myself pushing for trans inclusion and getting rid of slurs on trans porn sites. But Lowbridge, she said, kept bringing the conversation back to questions that had to do with dating in the real world in reference to going on dates with people not into trans women. Poe continued, I told her that I'm in a serious committed relationship. I also disclosed being trans on any dating sites because with my job I'm naked all over the internet. She pushed further and I tried to explain that my job is people finding me attractive, so I never really had an issue with that. I do like the fact that we have this article to read from Pink News, which gives us a bit of context, but for goodness sake, they suck at editing. Anyway, it feel extremely baiting. Oh my god, twice in one sentence. And like she had the narrative of the article written before we talked, which we can, any idiot with 2 brain cells can see that if you looked at the article at all. She added, I felt so truly gross after it. I've had some experiences with press interviewing me that was extremely baiting, but this was truly an extreme example. At times in old America, people were dragged out of jail before having a fair trial. Yeah, exactly. When the story was finally released, Poe's first reaction was that she was glad she wasn't included for fear of more targeted harassment from TERFs, which she has faced online for years. But when Cade's violent and transphobic, again, manifesto, I'm not sure we can... Again, I keep using that word, and so does everyone else, it seems. But someone had a good point that it's not really relevant in this discussion, given the specific context of it.
The Rogue Room appreciates your recommendation.
Mix Beals, thank you so kindly for the host. I want to just find this particular... Here we go. Is this it? No. Manifesto. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Somebody said we shouldn't call it a manifesto for some reason, but now when I look it up, that's all anyone's saying, honestly. Whatever. Pardon? It's alright. Do not go past 2:30, that's what a lynching is. I'll think about clicking that link. Might be TOS, yeah, maybe we shouldn't. Pardon? Just in case. We might not. If somebody wants to screen the video and tell me if it's okay, I mean, sure, but whatever. I'm probably not going to click it. Anyway, but yeah, was released days later met with silence from the BBC. So they did sort of address it, but they danced around it when they removed her part from the article. She felt it was important to share what was behind the process. The claim that trans women did not want to speak to Lowbridge is entirely untrue, Poe said. I have the DMs prove to me they talked to me about my piece, about the piece about that sentence makes no sense. She's got the DMs, okay? She's got the receipts. I would love for them to release my video interview, but I'm assuming it doesn't fit their narrative. I have many sex worker friends who completely ignore the press. It might be my Midwestern politeness to give the press a chance, but this time I was extremely disappointed with everything. A BBC source has confirmed to Pink News that Lowbridge interviewed Poe and said that her contribution was judged not to be relevant to the story. A BBC spokesperson added many people were interviewed ahead of publication and not all were included in the article. This is standard journalistic practice. So she warned them about the sexual assault allegations against Lily Kate. So if you're going to do a piece that heavily implies a marginalized group are sexual predators, maybe don't ask a sexual predator. So they knew in advance. Like, they knew. They can't say they didn't. They met early in Poe's porn career. In a podcast on the BBC article, Poe explained at the beginning of her career she was already landing roles in lesbian and BDSM. She met Cade when the porn star and director attended a party hosted by Poe and they followed each other on social media. Poe decided to try her chances and reach out to Cade if she could be featured in one of Cade's films. Request soon spiraled into a public Twitter row over trans inclusion in lesbian porn. So I think, never truly thought topics surrounding my early porn career and interactions with Lily Cade would ever lead to this international news story about her posting terrorist threats. Activists are calling for the BBC to admit that its piece was biased towards transphobic rhetoric, which they're not going to do, let's be honest with ourselves. Either through malice or incompetence, the BBC's piece has platformed violent and dangerous people as impartial subjects on trans people as a wider group, which is always the way this goes. It's very convenient that, the most platformed voices on trans existence tend to be those that disagree with trans existence to varying degrees, as though the most neutral stance is, oh, they should exist, but we should be able to call them the pronouns we think they blah, 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 whatever. Wish there was a word for the kind of message you find smeared on a basement wall in shit that'd be more accurate. Virginity, I have cool big eyes, thank you. It's the lashes. Mainly followed her on Twitter because she was in movies with Cade had a kind of scary side on some tweets, so when you heard the stuff, he would... Yeah, like that Lily Cade. Yeah, that one. It's weird to be talking about a porn star on Twitch, but here we are. I mean, I didn't know she existed until this shit happened, honestly. I'm just skimming through here. Trans Activism UK continued. If true, this means the article's lack of Lily Cade context was deliberate rather than through error or ignorance, further proving that this article was wholly intended to specifically target and paint all trans women as likely predators. It also suggests that a quote from a trans woman where she stated that she discloses her trans status because not doing so is dangerous for many trans women was deliberately omitted from the piece. In our open letter, one of our criticisms was that no trans women were able to give that specific context, and it seems that the BBC had a quote to that effect but decided not to use it in the article. It is clear that the BBC platformed a person with violently dangerous anti-trans views and has not been quick to act in the wake of the manifesto being posted. The group is demanding a full and appropriate response to our criticisms in the above-mentioned article, and added the BBC cannot continue to stand behind the sentiment that its piece is impartial, properly researched, and not biased towards clearly transphobic rhetoric. Yes, Boop, this person is a predator. Lily Cade specifically. A BBC spokesperson admitted to Pink News that an admission of inappropriate behavior by Lily Cade should have been included in the original article, or they could have excluded her from it entirely and never published the article in the first place. That would have been good. That would have been nice. I remember last week when I posted this. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Let me just scroll back a little bit to where is it? Yeah, I posted this on October 29th. It was rather prophetic, honestly. I mean, given the Chappelle thing was still fresh in everyone's minds, I thought that was the worst it could get. And then we have this.
Got some good news yesterday. The corporate office finally fired the general manager at the part-time job I quit Jan of last year, who was discriminating against me for my disabilities and many other employees for a variety of stuff. Angle hype Neela hype KO.
Killing it, Mephistopheles. Thank you for the 100 bits. That's awesome. That is some good news. Thank you so kindly for sharing that with us. The original article author should be fired. Yeah, I mean, why is no one calling for that specifically? Everyone's calling for the BBC to pull down the article. Why is no one calling for the firing of Carolyn Lowbridge? Let me just search that really quickly. I want to find out. Unless she's an independent contractor. I don't know. How does this work? Let's see. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just tweeting that right now. Why is nobody calling for the firing of Carolyn Lowbridge? Amidst all of this, all I've seen is BBC take down this article. It breaks your own standards, which it does. It categorically does. But no one's asking for the article author to be fired. Like, what's the dealio there? I don't think there's any agenda behind that. I just think it's weird that no one said it. Return from your cardio workout and the leggings have come off. Yes, you're at work and yes, you're wearing a skirt. Based. That's what we like to hear. Trans adult star on Twitch channel, Casey Kisses, and she's also great. There's a number of porns. We were talking about this before, actually. There's a number of adult stars who just have Twitch channels just to, you know, stream games or whatever. Like, a lot of people have got this really weird idea in their heads that a person who does one thing can only do one thing, namely with regards to sex work. Like, if you're a porn star, you're only a porn star. Like, people have lives, you know, so a lot of the time they'll enjoy hanging out playing video games on Twitch while also getting full sealed on Fansly or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying my best here to keep that going. Anyway, Xander Corvus is also pretty based in streams. Anywho, neither here nor there. Maybe it's because of the pandemic. Is that a justification, though? I mean, I don't give a shit. If someone loses their job because they post some transphobic shit, fuck them. Anyway. Did I have anything bookmarked on Twitter we could look at? Oh, I was going to respond to this one, but I never did. Well, maybe I did. How do I unbookmark a tweet? There we go. I did use glue. There's lash glue that comes with it. You can get lash glue specifically that you put on the lashes, and then you sit it on your eyelid. You don't sit it in your eye, so you know that's important to note. Unionization of the industry, and Manuel Ferrara is semi-retired because he makes more money on Twitch. Also, he's super hot. There we go. We were talking about video games before. One of the best games ever is only $5 Australian on GOG. Which one is it? What game is it? It's called Spirit Gum. Is that the stuff that is it the stuff on there? What game is it? I'm curious now. What's one of the best games ever? Not Cyberpunk 2077, clearly. Yeah, I should get rid of it. I'm never going to play it. I've got a physical copy of Cyberpunk here, still in the shrink wrap for PS4. And I'm like, I don't predict CD Projekt Red is ever going to make this shit playable. So I really should chuck it. Hello, Smudge. I got your attention. Pardon? Yeah, I don't predict that they'll fix it on PS4, honestly. Yeah, true. I don't think my PC would be able to handle it either. Not with one fan. And I was gonna get a bunch of fans. Bloodborne is $5. I don't see it on here. Have I got? So you said on GOG, right? I don't see it. Realms of the Haunting. I can see it on Steam, where it's $4.50 AUD as well. Same deal. Okay. Forged in the beginning and protected by the seven seals, there lies a place where thought and creation intertwine. The center of all realms of existence, it is a balancing force between good and evil, man and spirit, a focal point for all energies, and the one element that has kept the consuming nature of darkness at bay until now. Don't get the Steam version. Okay, why not get the Steam version? I'm assuming because GOG has got it running properly. Because, you know, a lot of old games tend to not run properly on modern systems. So if you get something like that on Steam, they don't do the same kind of thing that GOG does where they make sure it's actually operational. Okay, this looks kind of neat. I've never heard of this, honestly. You still keep your physical copy? Well, the thing is, I didn't buy it. I never bought Cyberpunk. So that was released in 1996. I would have been 7. I never bought it. My cousin somehow came into possession of 2 copies of it. I don't know how. And he's like, one of them still sealed. So he gave me this other copy. And I'm like, I don't really see CD Projekt Red fixing it for PS4. So I'm like, I'm probably not going to end up playing it. I'm not terribly interested in it is what sucks. It's like, I was into it for a while before it came out. And I had a lot of hype for it. And as more and more terrible news started coming out about the game, the more I lost interest. So, you know. So you don't get all the modding on Cyberpunk? I've never looked into it, honestly, so I got no clue. And yeah, it's still broken. Actually, here's a fun thing. Let's look at the 2080-78. Okay, hang on. 2077. What's it called? Let's have a look here. Pardon? The Order 2077. Dev roadmap. Here we go. This was published recently. They updated their roadmap. All Cyberpunk 2077 updates pushed to 2022, which I think includes their next-gen overhaul for like graphics and such. CP 2077 developer CD Projekt Red announced last week that its Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 versions of the game had been delayed until 2022. Yes, I just called it CP 2077. Do not call me out on that. On Thursday, the developer updated its development roadmap, first published in January, with a more detailed look at the delay, showing there are no more expected updates for 2021. So yeah, there we go. When was their latest update? So I guess that's it. So I'm assuming hotfix 1.0 whatever. 1.06? I can't read it. Anyway. Whatever that is must be the most recent version of the game, and then there's patch 1.1 coming out sometime in 2022. Next-gen updates for both The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and Cyberpunk 2077 are impacted by the delay, which is currently scheduled for the first quarter of 2022, according to the roadmap. Okay. 60 gigabytes in size. What'd you say? I've still got like fibers or something stuck on my fucking lip, and it's annoying the shit out of me. Other updates, improvements, and free DLC are expected during that period and beyond. Cyberpunk was originally released on December 10, 2020. Well, the initial alpha was released on December 10, 2020, and you had to buy it full price, which was a weird decision. I don't know why they did it that way. Its launch did not go well by any means. The game turned out to be so buggy that both Sony and Microsoft were forced to accept all refunds. Sony removed it from the PlayStation Store, has since been added back to that platform. Developers released more than 10 patches since 2077's troubled launch, which squashed many of the game's bugs. CDPR had originally promised that multiple updates and improvements, including the free DLC and next-gen console update, following patch 1.3 in the remaining months of 2021. Patch 1.3 was released in August with some of that free DLC in the form of quest options, animations, and additional cosmetic items. Do y'all remember, right? There was an article. Let me just see it. So more of the free DLC is expected in 2022. Let me just find this really quickly. Okay, so do you folks remember this? Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer, when it's coming, what it may be, and everything we know. I feel like this is gonna be a few more years off yet. 2077 multiplayer is coming from the same studio that made the single player game, but you may have to wait a while to play it. Some kind of multiplayer counterpart to 2077 for a while. 2021 appears unlikely as a release date for the multiplayer. Gee, you fucking think? That's all we officially know about 2077 multiplayer so far. Given the expected release in September, which was later moved to November then December, and frankly speaking, the series of events which expect to occur after that date. I don't remember where I saw it. A lot of people were making this speculation that it would basically be Cyberpunk GTA Online, which, you know, it doesn't sound like a terrible idea in theory, in concept. But I remember another article that kind of said Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer will come out in 2022, and I'm like, are we still thinking that's a possibility? I don't know. I'm sketchy on this entire thing, honestly. And will I ever play the game itself? I don't know. I've heard from certain people in the video gaming space. Which one do I throw up like that? Oh. I'm gonna throw the muscles out there like that. Anyway, sorry. Enjoy. You like? Yeah. Z was just redeeming a flex so she can stand in the doorway and just mire the gains. I wish I wasn't 73 kilos now. Anyway. 2022 is a whole year's worth of time, but yeah, I mean, just honestly throwing it out there. Given, NBSP redeemed hugs, by the way, so I get to use my big muscle arms to hug you. Given how things have been going for CDPR with Cyberpunk to begin with, I don't expect the multiplayer to be out anytime next year. Hey, babes. Hey, babe. Big muscle arms.
Oh, what's the trigger this time?
Oh yeah, avoid the choker. Yes. Anyways, how the fuck do I belch that? Pardon? I should take a break. Hey, it's 10:50. I should take a quick break. Go pee. I get head pats. I'm gonna. CDPR should just abandon the game. I don't know, honestly. Are people still playing it? Pardon? You'd play the multiplayer? Yeah. Well, there's at least one person. So. They could spend development money on a new project and learn their lesson. I mean, I'm honestly kind of still a little bit mildly excited at the prospect of The Witcher 4 not focusing on Geralt. I'd like to see what they do with that. But anyway. The vowel in turn. That's the way I read it. It's like an sound. I don't know. Thank you for giving a heck. There's your middle finger. I will be right back. Don't go away, folks. And we'll return in just a moment's time. Okay, I have returned. Excuse me. For a second while I turn the music down a tad. How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the Rogue Room. Well, the Rogue Room didn't really go anywhere. Excuse me. These big game companies are not our friends. No, they are not. I have important news to tell you all. I have hot chocolate with soy milk because, yes, I consume soy. How do you think I feminized so hard? Anyway. No, where is he? Give me a sec. Where is he? Smudge is hunting. Okay. Oh, just give me a second here, just like so I can show off the guns. I'm sorry. The Witcher 3 director leaves CD Projekt Red amid bullying allegations. This happened earlier this year. Like that little duck to get in frame. Anyway, yeah. Oh, HRT, now just drink a glass of soy milk and an Impossible Whopper every day. Fuck yeah. Duke, there you go. And we tested out the lipstick. It's still going strong. Yeah, the lipstick comes off a little bit, or maybe you were too much. I don't think you were too much, don't worry. Anyway, yeah. Konrad Tomaskowicz, director of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and secondary director on Cyberpunk, has resigned from his position of vice president of game development at CD Projekt after facing accusations of bullying at the company. So there we go. Who could be shocked by that? It's one way to remove Abby's lipstick. Yeah. Also, I mean, it's probably the most effective way, because let me tell you, these bitches barely do a fucking thing. This lipstick stays on so fucking well. Yeah. She will gladly remove my lipstick with honor. But it's trying to take it off myself. I might as well just get sandpaper out at this rate. It's painful. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I can't be surprised by shit like this anymore. It's depressing. I'm not saying I don't want to talk about it. I'm just saying I can't be shocked. It's like, oh, somebody high up working at a video game company is a cunt. Who's surprised at that? Who's shocked at that at this stage? You know? I've honestly kind of drawn the conclusion that there's probably somebody at From Software is a fucking wanker. We just haven't heard about it yet. I hate to say it because From Software obviously produces my favorite games. I am going to get that fucking Valkyrie from Elden Ring on that shelf. I swear to God. I will pay the $400. I'm getting that bitch somehow. But at any rate, you know, when we hear stuff from like Ubisoft, EA, and such and such, Miyazaki laughs at crying children. I mean, that's just good humor, honestly. Crying kids is fucking hilarious. It's always good. It's always a good idea to laugh at crying kids. No, it's not. Don't do that. Be caring and compassionate to children. Unless they cry laughing. Yeah, exactly. Get Abby a high definition picture. She won't know the difference. There are only 2 stories related to video game companies overworking employees and harassment. Pretty much. Like, it's sad. It's depressing because, like, how many people are playing these games? And not just kids who are not clued into gaming news. How many adults are playing these games who are just completely complacent, completely unaware of what's going on in the games industry and how horrendous it is. And it's systemic, it's institutional, and it's just out there. And I know people who keep up with gaming news who would have to stumble across these articles every now and again. People who are following gaming news publications who are not aware of it somehow. It's like, do you just actively ignore the fact that the games industry is tormentously abusive? You know, one indie developer who you're pretty sure isn't harassing people. Well, even in that space. I mean, we've heard of a number of indie devs who are complete fucking cunts. I don't know anything about Concerned Ape personally. He seems alright, at least. made Stardew by himself. The team behind Celeste. Extremely OK Games, is that what they're called? XOK. They're good. They seem good. I mean, it's hard. I would imagine. Yeah, the Fez dev seems like a bit of a prick from what I've heard. I don't know. She's a solo dev. Well, there you go. None of these big differences in people's power in the workplace that abusers exploit to harass people. I mean, I feel like it'd be a lot harder for an abusive person to operate in a work environment that had a much smaller group. Like if you had 5 to 10 people working on a game, maybe 12, I feel like it would be a little bit trickier to get away with being an absolute cunt in that workplace. You'd have a much more familial atmosphere if you were working on a smaller project. The moment the projects get bigger, it's easy to cover shit up. Most people, you know, are getting the premium collector's edition on console, but will get the game on PC still because there's no collectors on PC. Oh, really? I thought there was. I thought there was a collector's on PC, and it was the... Hang on. I thought it was like a digital code. But yeah, I actually legitimately cannot get it. It's just sold out everywhere. I want to get the premium edition. Yeah, the premium edition does come out on PC, but like it looks like everywhere I've looked, unless it's just not actually in stock anywhere yet. The hat, yes. Do you like the hat, Laura? It's got a little, where is it? It's got a little buckle detail on it. I don't know if you can see it, but anyway. There. It's got a little bit of, it's very cringe. It's very Fedora, very EB Games is probably your best bet. I'm going to call around at EB Games stores tomorrow and try to get the collector's edition. And yeah, try to pre-order in store if I can. It's stupid that I can't pre-order over the phone. Or maybe I can, I don't know. But at the very least, you know, I've searched. And we mentioned this at the start of the stream. I'm going to keep rambling about this until I have a receipt in my hands that says you are guaranteed to get that statue. And probably not the helmet, sadly. But, you know. You know, I'm going to keep bitching about this until I know I'm going to get that collector's edition of Elden Ring because I fucking deserve it. Elden Ring, Cody. Elden Ring. I haven't watched the gameplay trailer yet. I don't know if I want to. I've seen clips of it. It looks so slick. Unless I'm trying to be cringe. I'm never trying to be cringe, but I embrace my cringe nowadays. I've begun to realize there is no point in languishing over whether you're being cringy. Languishing is probably not the correct term, but I don't care. And yeah, like Elden Ring, honestly, the world is fucking gorgeous. You know, you hate FromSoft games, but they've always got style. How dare you say you hate them? But yes, they do. They genuinely. FromSoft knows how to make a stylish game. They do. Honestly, especially Bloodborne. Bloodborne is my favorite in terms of just aesthetic orgasm. Looks like Dark Souls 3 open world. Good. I'll take it. You know, all you need to know about the trailer. You can jump and you can take a larger fall. Yeah. Which, you know. So, Malenia, Blade of Miquella. Look at this. Look at this thing here. Look at this. I need this. I need this. I don't think I'll be able to get that premium edition, though. I feel like I won't be able to get the premium collector's edition because it's exclusively from Bandai Namco. And if you go on the website, there's none in stock. Like, if you go to the premium collector's edition, you click on PS5, sold out. Xbox One, sold out. PC download, sold out. PS4, premium collector's edition, sold out. Collector edition, sold out. PC download, sold out. Xbox One, sold out. They're all gone. And like this was announced today. So I can't tell if they actually are sold out or if they haven't actually listed stock yet or something. Or they've all been scalped, which would piss me the absolute fuck off because those people don't deserve to hold those things from other people. Yeah, the ones that are sold out will reappear soon. They're already up there. They're already up there. Like I showed you before. We'll come back around to my media tab. They're already on there. People are already listing the collector's edition. Surely they can't all be scalped? I don't know. That's what annoys me. It's like I can't be certain, but given what we've been seeing with the consoles, would you be surprised? They limited pre-orders to 1 per household to avoid scammers. Been meaning to check out Armored Core. I've honestly never played any Armored Core games. Have a friend who streams Soulsborne, and after he finishes each one, he's like, okay, time to watch Vati videos so I can figure out what I just played. Vati's great, honestly. Bloodborne is like Lovecraft horror right from your horror dreams. Dark Souls is a melancholic decadence thing. Yeah, that's a good way to phrase it, honestly. They're both tremendous. Gonna buy Sharky's PS5? Wait, really? He doesn't use it? You kid. It will likely be a restock because they will cancel orders under the same name or same address. Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Armored Core even features the Moonlight Greatsword. Pardon? Yeah, true. Probably. Meant to tag me. Okay. Well, I hope there's a restock. Armored Core 1 is one of the best beginnings to a game ever. I think there are certainly some people out there who are a bit pissed off that From Software kind of found a winning formula with the Dark Souls format, and they just sort of stuck with it for the past decade, since Demon's Souls. This is nice. Oh yeah, the Hot Chockey. The Hot Chockey, by the way. Tremendous. Oh, anyway. I forgot to update my sub goal, which I should honestly just set it to 69 and see what happens. Fuck it. Let's go. Can we get 62 subs in chat? There we go. There. It's going to take a second to update. Fuck scalpers in the face, honestly. Hello there, Black Kitty Cat. How you going? Seems a bit harsh that if you get your legitimate order cancelled just because there are other people named John Smith in the world. I mean, it would only be if they have the exact same details as you, which would still be, you know, not the best option, but, you know. I had a winning formula of Armored Core and other mech games before. Yeah, but Dark Souls honestly hit a mainstream notoriety that was unprecedented from my perspective. I'm sure Armored Core was doing great in its own particular niche, but Dark Souls blew up to a level where the games industry turned it into a meme with how often they would comment on how something is Souls-like. Like, it's... Dark Souls is on another level, and thus people have come to associate From Software with that specific genre of ultra-hard games set in fantastical settings. Fantastical settings. You should make an RSS feed with alerts for the pre-order version you want's page so you know as soon as it's restocked. That's an idea. How would I set that up? That would be interesting. Basically what happened to Squeenix, yeah. Guess you're gonna have to start doing scalping, yeah. Yeah, I think they hit on a particular mainstream appeal with the Souls-like format. And as a result, more people are aware of From Software for the Souls thing than the Armored Core thing. You love the way I look? Thank you kindly. One of the best game developers of the last decade, by far, honestly. They've put other developers to shame with how good they make their games. It's unprecedented, quite frankly. I don't know how better to describe it. Once I had played through and finished Dark Souls for the first time, my perspective on video games had dramatically changed. You know, my concept of what a game could be had shifted so radically because of Dark Souls. Not just because, oh, it's a hard game. If you gifted me a copy of Realms of the Haunting, would I try it out? Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna say maybe on that one. Like, I'm not averse to the idea, but the problem is, I'm already tricky to play games in the first place. So I'm curious, I am intrigued, but it's also like, at the moment I've still got to finish the Outer Wilds DLC, then Kena Bridge of Spirits is sitting there in my backlog, which I'm going to be streaming on Discord. Like, I'm going to finish the Outer Wilds DLC on my Saturday night gaming stream on Discord first. Then I'm going to probably continue playing Kena Bridge of Spirits. Elden Ring is obviously on the horizon, and I don't give myself a ton of time to play games in general. So that's the tricky bit, you know. Can kind of understand not wanting to be typecast as a development house too. True. Minecraft, exactly. Minecraft's always a constant. I just realized my pentagram's upside down. There's a name for that, actually. My pentagram's upside down. It's not high on the priority list then. Yeah, exactly. Positech Games made a blog post about how if he based his decisions purely on market, he should obviously just keep churning out democracy. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. A lot of these decisions are based on market. I think the decision to make Elden Ring was purely predicated on the idea of people obviously like Dark Souls. They like the format, and what they want is more Dark Souls. And what's more Dark Souls than a big open world Dark Souls, right? You know, it's sort of the logical conclusion going from the Metroidvania format of Dark Souls 1, which was kind of dropped. Like Dark Souls 2, honestly, I'm going to say it this way. Dark Souls 2 kind of went the route of Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, where like areas were connected via loading tunnels. Rather than having this seamless world design that connects all these areas together, you'd go through a loading tunnel that would just put you in a vaguely related space to the next area you're going to. But so basically you were still, like in Dark Souls 2, you were just playing individual levels connected by loading tunnels. And then Dark Souls 3 was much stricter linear game structure, but at least the world design sort of dropped the loading tunnels a bit in favor of more of a tightly designed world that was point A to point B. Like, let's be real, it was point A to point B. But I do like Dark Souls 3, probably my ranking, and then like Bloodborne sort of gives us a bit of a return to the Metroidvania stylings. But honestly, like the Metroidvania origins of the series kind of makes me think that's why they've decided to go open world, because it's kind of the logical conclusion of that. Because obviously a lot of things can be connected via an open world much more easily. Of course, I haven't seen the gameplay footage of Elden Ring yet, so I can't say for certain whether or not they've kept any of those Metroidvania elements with regards to level design. But yeah, Dark Souls 1 is the only real Metroidvania of the series. But aside from Bloodborne, to an extent, this is the major issue I have with their games, is they'll do it for a bit, then they'll drop it. At some point in the game, they'll stop doing the connected level structure, which kind of sucks. So Dark Souls and Bloodborne did it especially, but after a certain point, the game drops it, and that kind of annoys me. I think it'd be far more fun to see them attempt to do that same kind of, here's a bunch of tightly designed levels that are all interconnected with one another. But I realize the difficulty in that kind of thing. Anyway, looks like, and yeah, I've heard this about the whole Breath of the Wild thing. I haven't watched the footage yet, but a lot of people are saying it looks like grown-up Breath of the Wild, basically. Have I played DBZ on Game Boy? I don't think I ever actually owned a Game Boy. The only Nintendo console I remember owning before a Switch was a 3DS. DS and 3DS, sorry. After you get a teleport, I suppose. Yeah. And the thing is, Bloodborne had teleports from the get-go. Dark Souls 2 and 3 had teleports from the get-go. One of the things I really liked about Dark Souls 1 is you don't get the teleport till midway through the game. So you have to do that whole let's explore the world thing first. You have to actually go on foot from place to place before you're able to actually just warp wherever you please. And then the problem there is, of course, once you get the teleportation, they're just like, okay, we don't need to connect the levels anymore. You just go through this place to get to this place. Japanese devs seem to have adopted open world after the success of Breath of the Wild and other games. Oh, okay. Well, that's neat, I suppose. So you said Dark Souls changed what you thought a game could be. What does that mean? Honestly, there are so many elements to it. Namely, especially the combat in particular. And I know there have been many games that have had tightly designed combat, but specifically with regards to a third-person action-adventure game. Previous games I had played in that genre did not have anywhere near the design philosophy of Dark Souls. It was just swing at the thing, your weapon hits the thing takes damage. Oh, you've also got a shield. And like, there have been games that have emulated the same kinds of concepts, like the whole Spider-Man 2 counter-based mechanic system is not new by any stretch, but the way that Souls implemented it, and also the varieties of how would you define this? Like the varieties of builds you can pursue, which again are not new concepts, but I think just the way they were executed, there's a certain finesse at play with Dark Souls 1. I shouldn't call it Dark Souls 1, I should just call it Dark Souls. That would be the, as we see in chat, the cultured way to refer to it. And also just one of the major things, I think it's more that Dark Souls kind of resurrects a lot of older game design philosophies, I think, in a much more modern context, and does so in a way that doesn't feel ham-fisted. You know? Skipping the trailer would be fine because playing it will give you everything you saw in the trailer anyways. Well, yeah, exactly. I fully anticipate going into Elden Ring and having a hell of a time with it. I'd rather, honestly, go into it without looking at the footage. I've seen the teaser trailer. I've seen a few little brief clips here and there. I am very intrigued by it. But I also don't want to spoil it for myself. I'd like to go in completely blind if I can. I just brought what Berserk would be in a video game version. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Sekiro has the most easy but pure and clear and addicting combat system. How is it easy? I do love Sekiro though. It is quite frankly the epitome of their combat design throughout the games they've made since Dark Souls and Demon Souls. They really nailed the combat in that game especially. Many older action RPGs with that tight combat scattered throughout the late 90s and 2000s, but not many of them put into level design and gameplay loop that Demon Souls had. I would say the reason that Sekiro might resonate with certain people is like, were you ever into rhythm games like Guitar Hero? Because Sekiro plays like Sekiro plays like playing Guitar Hero on Legendary or whatever it is. That's basically how it goes. You need to know the button presses you need to press to beat the bosses and the enemies and all that. You need to learn their combos and know exactly what type of defense mechanic you're going to use, what sequence, and when's the right moment to strike. They did that really well. Easy as in intuitive. I mean, that would make sense. Sekiro's combat system is quite intuitive in a lot of ways. But it's fucking hard. Not easy, but simple. I suppose simple might work. Those kind of games make you angry, which I suppose, depending on your particular gaming tastes, I can understand that. Depending on what kind of games you typically play, it might not be everyone's cup of tea. Or hot chocolate with soy milk. What do you mean about older game philosophies? I think like not like arcade game philosophies, but there were a lot of older games where like the story and the lore were told to you, and of course the level design. Let's talk about that specifically. Like we throw back to the Metroidvania style level design, and then there were a lot of games where like the story was very vague and sort of nondescript, and told to you through very brief bits of dialogue or very brief bits of world building or whatever. And Dark Souls took that to its logical conclusion, I think. You kind of feel like a memorization challenge is fake difficulty. How so? Honestly, I'm curious. How so? That we could argue all the live long day about what fake difficulty is. Like my interpretation of fake difficulty is Skyrim on Legendary. Let's just crank everything's stats up to 5,000 and turn yours down to 10. That's fake difficulty, in my perspective. Like, if you play a difficult game and the objective is to learn what it is that makes it difficult and adapt to it, that's... Is it difficulty at that, in that sense? Is it... It's challenge. Challenge is a better word for it than difficulty. I would prefer to say Dark Souls and its ilk are challenging games, not necessarily difficult ones. Because they expect you to adapt to them. Dark Souls is a game where the world exists despite you, as opposed to so many other games where the world exists for you. Dark Souls doesn't care if it kicks the shit out of you. Other games will hold your hand through it. You know. Oh, however, Megaspell. Excuse me. Don't really like when games expect you to die a million times. Well, they don't really expect you to die a million times. They expect you to pay attention. If a memory challenge is fake difficulty, you tell that to all the MMOs with fucking hard raids. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? But the die a million times format has been done really well in games like Jump King, Celeste, Ghost Runner. Those are really good games in that sense of you die and you come back a second later instantly. Oh gosh, you alright? Are you okay? Oh, Forlorn Redeemed hugs. I can give you hugs. Hang on. Super Meat Boy is another good example, yes. And I don't know, there's probably other ones. You okay? Smudge, do your fucking job. My cat's not busy killing the bugs. Sorry you didn't get to see that hug. She disappeared off screen. Super Meat Boy and Hotline Miami were much more skill-based, I felt. So how does... I mean... Hang on. I'm curious, like, we're sort of dancing around this idea of what difficulty is. It seems like people are very quick to gatekeep what difficulty is for some reason. I'm confused as to why that is. I think the way MMOs do raids, for example, the way Dark Souls does its difficulty and expects you to learn the mechanics in order to adjust to its gameplay style. Other games where, yeah, quite frankly, just lots of big numbers, even. Which, of course, like turn-based combat and hotbar-based combat and stuff rely on those kinds of things. I feel like those are still different. Dark Souls difficulty is expert on Rock Band. Okay, the better you get in an RPG, the less skill it requires. That's still, I still don't think that's. I don't know. You gotta head to work and play some boring video game. Radio bun. Kind of disagree with SMB and H Miami. It's all the same. Struggle with Dark Souls mechanics, but you can say it gives the same feeling of progress as with all those games like Meat Boy and Celeste and Raiding. Like, the thing I want to say is, like, why are we trying to define what's real difficulty and what's fake difficulty? Like, I feel like if a game provides you enough challenge that's difficult, that counts as difficulty. Why are people trying to... And this is not just exclusive to this conversation, this is broadly in the gaming space. There are so many people who want games to fit a certain very strict model of what difficulty is or it doesn't count. And I'm like, why though? What's the reason for that? If a game offers up a challenge and really puts you to the test, that's difficulty, is it not? How's my lighting setup done? I've got 2 key lights here. I've got a red one and a blue one. I've got 3 smart lights. There's another one over there. One in the ceiling, one in the lamp. Got a lighting strip on the back of my bed. This is just a little color changing lampy thing. That's about it. Oh, and fairy lights. And those smart lights, 1, 2, 3, are all controlled with an app on my phone, which is pretty neat. I started it with Skyrim. I created difficulty. Difficulty is beating I want to be the guy when you don't want to be the guy. Kind of done with difficulty in games in general. Like, generally I know what I have to do, and the thing is just blocking my way and being boring. But like it's clear and present there is a market for that kind of game design though. And it has been there since the beginning. There are plenty of games out there that will hold your hand the way through it, if that's what you're seeking. My room is awesome, thank you kindly. Yeah, meow. Celeste Core Seaside. Yeah, I've seen you play the Seasides, and there's no fucking way I'm doing that shit. Jesus Christ on a cock, there's no fucking way. Late game Celeste was bad enough for me, Jesus. I don't think people's challenges in the same game should be compared unless you're explicitly enjoying some competition. Yeah, I think I agree there. Been using strips, thinking of switching to keys with gels for eye health reasons. That's a good idea. A lot of my lighting is incredibly cheap. I don't have Elgato key lights, for example. I've got these knockoffs from Amazon which come with color changing strips. Well, not strips, color changing panels. I got a red one and a blue one. Like, you take the little plastic panels out of it. You love the music? The music's pretty cool tonight, isn't it? I don't know why I'm trying to adjust this camera. I never really care about where that camera's posed. Everyone says Dark Souls is good but being hard for hardness sake is gatekeeping. I'm confused. Dark Souls is challenging, but it's not hard for hard's sake. It's challenging because it expects you to learn its mechanics like any game does, really. Got like Niwas. Oh, I think I know, yeah. Panels are called gels in filmmaking. Oh, I see. Difficulty / challenge is just a game being designed to encourage a desire to master the game, which, yeah. There are games where I think difficulty and challenge are not really necessary. I ended up having to turn the difficulty down on The Witcher 3, I think, because it was getting tedious fighting through all of these rooms of enemies all the time, or hunting monsters or whatever. Which I get, like the hunting monsters element, like the investigation and finding out what the monster is and doing the whole, you know, preparation. All that's cool. But when you come across like a slew of bandits or whatever, The Witcher kind of turned into a bit of a slog. So I ended up turning the difficulty down quite a bit for that particular reason. Because my main, and this is the thing, like with games like The Witcher, having the option to choose what difficulty level you want to do it on is important. Because The Witcher 3 is specifically a narrative-driven game, so you want to follow the narrative. You want to find the next story beat. You want to talk to the next NPC and progress the story. Whereas Dark Souls is a game, and I think Devil May Cry might actually fit in this genre as well, because what the fuck is Devil May Cry storytelling? I couldn't tell you anything that happens in those games. But Dark Souls is a game that is designed around its specific gameplay loop. It's designed around its challenging mechanics and expecting you to pay attention to what's going on in order to progress. Like the core gameplay mechanic is core gameplay mechanical loop, I suppose, is what the game wants you to focus on. The story is secondary. The lore and all that is secondary. It honestly feels like their game design philosophy at From Software is let's make the game as, let's say, immersive as possible, first and foremost. Tack the story on afterwards. And turn down Tales of Arise for the same reason, to follow the story without the grinding. Hello, Osali, how you going? What are those figures on the shelf? No Warhammer 40k. On this shelf here, we've got mainly From Software related stuff, so Dark Souls and all that. All of these are just assorted video game things. We got Ciri and Geralt from The Witcher and Farah from Overwatch. And just other stuff. That's a portal gun. I do have a dice bag there. I have like a dragon eye dice bag there with 100 dice in it, which is pretty cool. And then other assorted guff. And board games down the bottom here. Fans made great work for creating huge lore for DS. Yeah, they really did. Like, the majority of the lore stems from people basically jailbreaking the very vague and nondescript item descriptions in the game and bits of dialogue, and then just piece together the world design. Hello. Rightio, Fox. Have a good one. Difficulty isn't necessarily about repetition. It can be, but it's not. Yeah. And that's the thing, like a lot of video games by their very nature are about repetition. Like part and parcel, that's how they work. It's what difficulty is, repeating the same damn thing. That's just video games. That's honestly just video games. And I think in specific, what makes the idea of From Software games appealing to me, specifically to seemingly a lot of fans of the series, is the fact that it throws you at the wall. That's maybe not the right terminology I want to use there, but it throws you at the challenge and expects you to pay attention to what's going on so that you can then figure out the best counterattack. You know, you can figure out what's the best move when they do this particular swipe. Where's their hitbox hitting? What's the timing? How am I going to counteract this? It becomes a very psychological game you're playing, you know. If you don't like what you're playing, then just stop playing it. I 100% agree with that. If you want the story, then just watch someone else do it, which is one of the great things about streaming, I suppose. Play games. What's he doing? My cat's found Lego. Play games for the reason you want to play them. I don't want to spend all my time slamming into the same wall every day, but it is still fun. I don't like DS because I'm by myself, while other games that I enjoy have people in it playing with me. That's the appeal of MMOs, in my opinion. in my personal opinion, looking from, I mean, when I used to play them, that was kind of the appeal. It's like, yeah, I don't really like running this boss over and over again, but I'm having fun with my friends while I'm doing it, is the appeal there. Yeah, exactly. But I do, and I mean, that's the reason I enjoy doing co-op in Dark Souls, quite frankly, is I enjoy having friends with me to conquer the extremely hard videos game. Virginity, have a good one. Thank you so kindly for joining us tonight. If you want a story, read a book or watch a movie. If you want mechanics, then find a game whose mechanics and gameplay loop fit. Exactly. Have you ever had to delete TikTok for the second time? No. Yeah, Hardcore Minecraft 100? I think we can safely say that my particular breed of gameplay that I enjoy is the ones that put me through unreasonable challenges. I do like pain. I enjoy suffering. Grandmaster Nightfalls in Destiny can be a pain. Enemies, I do hate bullet sponges, don't get me wrong. Super hard hitting, the white mechanic is brutal, and champion enemies piled in are tiring. Found it quite fun to work with a team to work together and grind run times down to 10-15 minutes, which is like the whole speedrunning philosophy, really, isn't it? You're nerding out here because game dev stuff is your jam. Well, I mean, I'm going to go back to this, Diz. Let's imagine you're looking at a blank screen, you might be waiting for an hour, and then something will flash up for a split second, and if you don't press the right button, you will die, and the game will berate you for not paying attention. First of all, I'm pretty sure that game probably already exists. But second of all, that's not really what's going on with the majority of games that do put a challenge in front of you. You know? I mean, based on my own experiences. Do you like the idea of fragmentary storytelling? When you say fragmentary storytelling, do you mean like the Souls approach, or do you mean something else? And Looper, like if we come back to the... It's a lot less mechanical than you expected. And I think over time, obviously From Software have been experimenting with adding new mechanics with every subsequent game. But Dark Souls, honestly, is an incredibly simple game at its core. It's very, very, very basic. You know, you need to dodge or block or attack at the right times. That's about it. And you can attack from a range. You can attack up close. And probably the best thing about it is that no matter what approach you take, you're still always in danger, which keeps you on your toes. Why is auto mod being mean? Why do we even have auto mod? I thought I turned it off. Fellowship is one of the aesthetics MMOs thrive on. Yeah, exactly. Which is probably why I can't get into them, because I was playing World of Warcraft when I was playing that with friends. However, I do still have a very distinct sentimental attachment to the game itself. So when WoW Classic came out, I did play it for a while. Oh no, sorry, I went back to it recently-ish, before all of the recent horrific allegations. I went back to it for a bit and made a new account to trial some of the newer content. Or like to trial like the newest content, I suppose, like new starting areas and stuff. Just to sort of get back into it for a bit. And I did enjoy it, but it's kind of one of those games where I wish I could play it by myself without having to pay a subscription fee. I think we should go back to the Bolan Cup, I agree. You just came of Min eye level no echo BCB. God, it's so fun to slam against a boss and get slightly more and more progress and laugh with people when you all screw up as well. I mean, that sounds fun. The 8 aesthetics are sensation, fantasy, narrative, challenge, fellowship, discovery, expression, and subjugation. That's the first I'm hearing of this, but it's interesting. DS goes in on challenge, narrative, and subjugation. Interesting. Narrative told in small fragments that you as the reader have to piece together. Get the impression From do this a lot. But Fail Better and their alumni is your major exposure to the style. Who's Fail Better? Another game dev studio? Anyway, I do understand your point of view, but I also feel like you're sort of... I don't know how to describe my rebuttal, honestly. You heard one of the director guys behind DS has a very sadomasochistic approach. Well, probably Miyazaki, honestly. They've been doing that since Kingsfield. Well, yeah. Jam. There you go. This look. I'm glad you liked the look, by the way. Sorry, I missed that. We only make evil games to corrupt the youth into Satanism. which has always been the way. Video games are a conspiracy against Christianity specifically. Clearly. But yeah, they have been doing that whole kind of thing since King's Field. I'm pretty sure I saw a clip earlier. Oh, I saw a Zully the Witch video. Give me a sec. Which they've been doing the Mimic thing. Not watch later. History. I've got to clean out my watch later list. This is kind of neat, honestly. Let's mute this for a second. Long before Dark Souls had its version of Mimics, chests in Kingsfield had their own security system. Back in ye olden days of the video games. Sonic says, burn your local church. When did I turn my logo off? I didn't mean to do that. I meant to turn my camera off before when I was on this scene. But anyway. Surprise Bones. Watched a video recently about the Christian Crusade against D&D, and a lot of it was shocking, to be honest. I might have to look at that. It was skeletons, but also arrows and poison clouds like Dark Souls 2. It's surprising. Well, it's not really surprising, honestly, but it's amusing how often those same elements get recycled back into things. You're gonna head out to get food. Have a good one, Princess. Did I say that? I don't think I said that, but you know. Kingsfield also does secret spikes when you are looking for secret doors. But the important thing is, like, if you do that, you know, if you play through a game and it doesn't need to surprise you necessarily. But like, if it never throws anything new at you, you just have a linear, boring experience. It's just point A to point B. If there's never any challenge, if there's never any, I mean, and don't get me wrong, there are video games out there that do this. Is the thing. There are games out there that don't, you know, expect you to die over and over again to proceed. Hello, Molly. How's it going? I'm doing okay. Development studio, they do a lot of narrative stuff, including the text-based interactive fiction Fallen London and the Sunless series more recently. Oh, okay. Anyways. Oh, cracking my knuckles there. Oh, they do this precisely because it's funny. I mean, it is. That's the thing, is like these kinds of things where the game it's not really punishing you. It's explaining to you, okay, there's something around this corner, or there's something that there's some danger afoot, and usually these dangers are telegraphed, is the thing. The sun. Like, usually, like, this is the thing that I do adore quite fondly with regards to Dark Souls 1 in particular. Dark Souls 2 is a little bit worse with this. Dark Souls 3 sort of brings it back to the first game in a lot of ways. Hang on. There's a bloody... There it is, yeah. A lot of these games do tend to, not all of them, but a lot of them, but particularly From games, do tend to telegraph all of these things well in advance in various ways. But again, it's that whole pay attention thing. I think one of the reasons that people have issue with Dark Souls is they decided to treat it like other games. Other more... What's the term I'm looking for here? Like, other... I don't want to say the word casual, because that's a bit degrading. That's not what I mean. But for example, the mimics. Like, if we go back to the Kingsfield video a second ago, the mimics are telegraphed in Dark Souls. But of course, you have to be paying pretty close attention to notice them. But the mimics breathe, and the chains on them are different. So if you had been looking at them, you might notice that the common treasure chest doesn't breathe. It doesn't have teeth. The Kingsfield death spikes were very not telegraphed. And yeah, that's a symptom of bad game design. If you don't tell the player that something's coming and just throw a horrifying sequence at them that will kill them or whatever. Meanwhile, David Jaffe is complaining about modern Metroid being too obtuse. No, I'm not saying it because I've played it so many times. They are telegraphed. Everything's telegraphed. Every attack is telegraphed, even enemy placement. There's so many cues available, but you might not notice them on first playthrough. It's like watching a movie or a TV series the second time. And you will pick up on things you didn't notice the first time because you weren't really paying the closest attention. You were just trying to enjoy the experience on the first go through. but once you've gone through it the first time, you start to notice a bunch of details that you didn't see before. You know, have expectations suited to a different style of design, pretty much. But yeah, Celeste, honestly, very good example of a game that is forgiving but tough. Absolutely, yes. First time you thought it was something wrong, but you didn't think anything of it, and then the bitch ate me. Which is always fun. Who doesn't love getting eaten in video games? One of my favorite little cues that Dark Souls does is noise cues, sound cues, audio design. You'll walk into a certain area, and if you're listening, you'll hear the sounds of enemies breathing and things like that. They do make noises. Especially Bloodborne's especially good with this, actually. You will hear, let me think, for example, I think going through central Yharnam, you tend to hear, I think I've noticed the villagers tend to mutter a bit. So you're aware of them. How am I supposed to know you could bomb that crack in the wall? That's bad game design, expert on game design. Getting surprised eaten by tall girls with big tongues. Is that what mimics are? Tall girls with big tongues? Step on me, mimic. Ooh woo. What's the movie that was unique experience for me on second viewing? Good question. I can't really think of one at the moment because I don't watch a lot of movies. But I have had that experience. I can say I've had that experience. We could probably throw back to Silence of the Lambs, but I can't recall specific things. It's probably one of those... well, I'm rewatching The Witcher at the moment, the Netflix series. And I'm noticing a lot of things on the second rewatch. Well, the first rewatch. The second watch, where they're talking about things that are happening in the timeline, and I'm realizing that, like, the way the Witcher Netflix series is structured is a bit weird. It's kind of like multiple stories happening every episode at different points in the timeline, which is strange. But you'll hear someone in one timeline mention something that's happening, and then in another timeline in the same episode, someone will refer to something that happened like 20 years ago or whatever. And it's like, oh, I see. Spoilers, that's what they do in the first season. I haven't read the books, no. I've played The Witcher 3, I've played most of The Witcher 2. Haven't played Witcher 1. But I have... I've not read the books. I've been meaning to at some point. There's probably mimic hentai out there. The realization popped into my head and now I feel very uncomfortable. Pardon? True. There is, you can see mimic butt in Dark Souls, which is one of the major reasons you should play it. One of the main reasons to get good in Dark Souls is to look at mimic butt. So bait them into attacking a wall so that they're facing away from you, and then you get your binoculars out and you zoom in on their ass. You could see mimic ass. Mimic is pure love. I'm doing drugs because I just realized it's nearly midnight and I haven't taken my second dose of these. Mimic butt is okay, but you're more worried about the existence of Mimic Vor. Well, I mean, Mimic Vor is already the main thing, right? They pick you up and they eat you. I don't think it's survivorship bias, honestly. I think it's just I have a specific predilection, and it's not HRT, don't worry. It's for something else. I've got folliculitis, which I've got to deal with. Ew. Can't believe we haven't smashed tonight's sub goal of 69. You're back from lunch break. Welcome back, Jaeger. How you going? You want some drugs too? You can. You can have some drugs. Memento is definitely one of them. You haven't seen Memento in a long time. Considering how you feel about Nolan's other movies, but I'm not sure how it would hold up for me. It takes a very specific and skilled writing hand, or maybe directing hand, to create one of those movies where, or TV shows or whatever, where once you follow up on it and revisit it, you notice things like that. But even then, that's not really the specific point at play, I think, in my opinion. We've kind of veered off a lot of things from where we started. I'm going to close these because I don't have any reason to keep these tabs open. The fact that you can't call the stuff until after you play... No, it's just it's more noticeable once you have played through it, but it's always been there is the thing. Like, all the things I'm talking about are always there in the game, and you can notice them. But a lot of people will try to treat Dark Souls like any other casual game and just run through it. Try to rush through it. Don't like the Dark Knight movies at all. I like The Dark Knight, but Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises are kind of like eh. Directing always makes or writing and directing always make or break a movie in a way no good acting can fix. Just look at Twilight or Revenge of the Sith. Oh yeah. They're God. How did those movies get made, honestly? I suppose Star Wars was always going to get made, in a sense. And now Star Wars is one of those big mega franchises that we got to put up with. Ew. I used to like Star Wars. Now I'm rather indifferent to it. You notice a lot of things, you just think you're crazy, so you be quiet. You haven't fell for a single trap in the Irithyll dungeon, and that was just because I looked up and down before proceeding. Yeah. And I think that's a completely fair approach, honestly. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. It'll happen to you. Time changes us, I suppose. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm getting old. I'm an old person now. I'm over 30. Can you believe it? Jesus. I only don't look like I'm over 30 because I caked my face in makeup at the start of this stream. Insomniac was alright, but aesthetically you find it bland, like it's a movie about dreams. Oh, Inception. I was going to say, what? Insomniac, the game dev studio? Like, I'm sure there's a movie called Insomniac, probably. It's like you only really get surprised by a mimic once the first time, and then you attack every single chest you find after that. Yeah, it's learned behavior. Insomnia you actually liked, but only for the performances. I have not seen that one, I don't think. And yeah, it's the same with, like, you go in and you notice, for example, the Taurus demon or the Asylum demon has got, say, for example, a big sideways swipe. So you back up, or you try to dodge through his legs, like try to get behind him rather than you wouldn't try to dodge to the side, which I think you can actually. Dark Souls 1 is honestly pretty lenient with its dodge timing. I think you can dodge into most attacks and be fine. But later in the series they changed it a bit, so you had to dodge in specific directions. I can't recall. I need to replay the other ones. I've been replaying Dark Souls 3, but I've sort of given up on my latest run. Hate how Nolan edits his movies in general. His overall aesthetic just doesn't appeal to you at all, which is understandable. You went into Dark Souls already prepared because of seeing Trin Immortal get jump scared by a mimic. And yeah, like that's the thing. Like you only get surprised by them once, the first time, and then you attack every single chest you find after that, which Dark Souls 2 does punish you for. If you're going to punch chests in Dark Souls 2, swap to your fist, because if you hit a wooden chest in Dark Souls 2, and this is another thing, right? It's like if you come across a mimic in Dark Souls 2, you're going to have the same response, right? You get shocked by a mimic, it jumps out at you, it's eating my face. You respawn and you go back, and throughout the rest of the game, okay, I'm going to attack chests now, because I know they're an enemy, right? But Dark Souls 2 does another little clever trick. And any wooden chest you come across, which has a chance to be a mimic, like it's not a random thing, you know, you'll know where the locations of them are. If you attack the wooden chests, they have a chance of breaking, and then the item inside them turns into rubbish, so you don't actually get whatever it is they drop, which is how dare you, From Software. You just watch for the breathing. That was yeah. The breathing is the most obvious tell. But again, most people in video games will look at a chest and will immediately just go to open it because yay, treasure, you know, which is the point. You know, it's not like other video games where I'm not like the other video games. And don't get me wrong, mimics exist in other video games too, of course, but that's the whole point. It's, you know, to expect you, dick. It's because you have the expectation. Like, honestly, that's one of the ways that Dark Souls is so expertly subversive, is because you are expecting to, again, you're expecting to play it like any other video game in the same kind of genre, but, you know, it throws chests at you that eat your face or what have you. Or like you try to go in and just spam attacks on the boss and expect to have a huge dodge window, when in reality the boss is just going to come and flatten you right out of the gate to sort of humble you, I guess, and teach you to be patient with the experience. The only time you've seen anyone outright paranoid of mimics is in D&D. I've never played D&D, so I don't have the specific context for that. Used to watch a lot of movies. You barely watch movies now. You think the death of the video store is part of the reason. I feel the same, honestly. I used to really enjoy going to Blockbuster specifically to get videos, to get DVDs, to rent video games. And then that experience just died. And it has, like, honestly, the streaming service has not been a satisfying replacement for the adventure of going to the video store, you know? It really was a magical experience because you would go in, you'd browse the movies, you'd go to a specific genre and you'd see all these movies you'd never heard of before. Nowadays, you can just look up, oh, there's a movie I've heard of I want to watch. It turns out it's on Netflix or it's on Paramount Plus or it's on Disney Plus or whatever. Okay, so I'll go make a new email account, sign up for another free trial, go watch that one. And then you don't get the fun of like picking out some random movie you've never heard of before, which you can do. You still can do that, but it's nowhere near as exciting as going and picking it out off the shelf and taking it to the counter. And while you're at the counter, there's a slew of candies you can choose from. It's just, the experience isn't the same. Husband lost his job at the USA Last video store in February. They went under and closed. Oh my goodness. You might have offered a DM, remember? Yeah. I do recall that, actually. What's my favorite boss fight in DS1 and 3? DS1, Artorias, probably. Or Ornstein and Smo, if we're going with base game. But Artorias, more than likely. Although, Kalameet is quite fun. And DS3... Slave Knight Gale, probably. I reckon. Anyway. Like just looking at physical copies and examining the box. Yeah, it was fun. Fresh popcorn. Sign up for a free trial and the movie you want to watch isn't available on the free trial. Yeah. Good fun. Got tons of stuff when the video store closed, so we're making one room in our home a video store. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Oh, Abyss Watchers are pretty cool. Yes. I've shit on the Abyss Watchers a few times. Mainly because they're one of Dark Souls 3's big bosses, basically. But they happen like 3 bosses into the game. And they're a pretty easy fight overall. Which is kind of disappointing. Like, you expect the big bosses. You know, the Lords of Cinder to be a little bit later in the game. Abyss Watchers OST. I'll have to listen to it. I can't remember what it sounds like. Not just movies, but everything. What's this subscription bullshit? Let's just steal everything. Yes. Do miss walking through the wonderfully cheap white pressboard shelves, walking up to the Ormica counter and grabbing a bucket of popcorn before you leave. It was an experience from a time long ago. I don't think we'll ever reclaim that. Especially in like a post-pandemic world, you know. I mean, it's a digital world thing mainly, but, you know, well, not post-pandemic, but like post there being a pandemic that's ongoing. It's one of those, and don't get me wrong, there's plenty of stores with physical stuff in it that people are touching all the time, but the specific experience of going to the video store was you would get the case for the video, and then you would bring that same case and disc back with your germs on it, and they probably weren't cleaning those things, let's be honest with ourselves. You know, favorite bosses in the Dark Souls games, and what do I think need work to be more playable? I'm going to say the boss that mainly needs the most work to be more playable is Bed of Chaos in Dark Souls 1. So that's definitely not one of my favorite bosses, but, you know. But yeah, I still think Artorias and Kalameet from Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 2, none of the bosses are memorable enough for me to remember. Maybe Throne Watcher and Defender. I can't remember. Nashandra is cool enough. Like that whole sequence of going from Throne Watcher and Defender to Nashandra to Aldia is kind of neat. Like a boss gauntlet is a pretty daunting experience. Sister Frieda in Dark Souls 3 is pretty cool as well. I might get docked for this, but Pontiff Sulivan is a cool fight. What else? Bloodborne's got quite a few good ones. Namely, let me think. Amygdala's really cool. Miss being able to rent video games too. You used to rent Pocky and Rocky 2 all the time, and now a physical copy of that game is like $600. Fuck. Oh my god. Renting a video game that you didn't want to buy just in case it's shit. Paying like $15 to get a game for 3 days. Like, what a ripoff. But we did it and we loved it. Manus on SL1 is a totally different experience. Oh yeah, Manus is fucked. Jesus. Manus is fucked on a regular run. Don't get me started on Manus at SL1. Jesus Christ. DS3, Yorm, and Wolnir are your favorites because you like the risk From Software took in terms of design. I wasn't too keen on Wolnir, but he's a step up from other kind of arena bosses like Bed of Chaos. I would consider Wolnir to be an arena boss, so to speak. It's the same basic experience, actually. Like, Wolnir is like if they did Bed of Chaos correctly, but they really didn't do Bed of Chaos correctly. And sadly, they're never going to go back and fix that. There was one Souls boss that was kind of just random if it killed you right off the bat or was a total pushover. Unless you're referring to Bed of Chaos, I can't think of what else that one might be. Bed of Chaos is called Bed of Bullshit for a reason, because you go down a big slide and the game kind of expects you to platform your way through it. There's like 2 nodes you need to take out, and then you need to go to the center to kill the final node, which is the actual Bed of Chaos. And it's a very poorly designed thing. Which is, I don't know why that got left in there. So that's probably Bed of Chaos, yeah. If it's a big tree, it's Bed of Chaos, yeah. Ceaseless Discharge is, well, Ceaseless Discharge might be it, but Ceaseless Discharge does have a proper boss fight, but there's also a cheese, which is intentional, it's by design. She's got the dragon. Have I showed them the dragon? Look, here's the dragon that Maddie got us. Look, it's cute. There you go. I've beaten Ceaseless legitimately, and I've beaten Ceaseless with the, I guess, the intended strat. I don't know, like, Ceaseless Discharge is weird. Capra Demon is a particularly challenging fight because it takes place in a very, very tight, enclosed space. But like with anything, there are specific strategies the game expects you to take. Not to mention that running to the sides in the center is closer than they appear to, so you end up jumping down a pit and dying. Yes, exactly. Bed of Chaos is fucking awful. Seems pretty natural to run away to the cheese spot, which I think a lot of people were expecting. I think From Software were kind of expecting that. It might have been more obvious, honestly. Here's a crazy idea. What if they didn't have a fog gate on Ceaseless Discharge? This might have been a better telegraph. What if there wasn't a fog gate on Ceaseless Discharge until you take the gold-hemmed black set off the altar, and then suddenly Ceaseless wakes up and you're like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here, so you run back, and then the fog gate is there, and you're like, oh shit, boss time, you know. What's up? You liked Vampire. I haven't played Vampire. I've heard it's okay. Might give it a go one of these days. But yeah, I honestly only found out about the cheese a bit later on. After I think I did it legitimately. I can't remember if I did it legitimately the first time or not. Well, how do you consider it to be legitimate? Like, when I say legit, I mean like fighting like a normal boss. But anyway. Well, that's been that for tonight. How about, oh, this is ESO. I wouldn't want to watch ESO. Let's go to someone who is playing a video game instead of just talking about them, because it's been quite fun. How about we go to somebody else's stream for now? Because, yeah. I can't tell who's, or this, pardon? Oh, really? Where's Jasmine? Pardon? I can't see Jasmine. Oh, there we go. Hollow Knight. Yeah, let's go to Hollow Knight. Let's go to Ranting Trans, who's playing Hollow Knight. Yeah, the ads on Twitch have been getting really bad lately, honestly. Hello, Pulse, we're leaving. Have a good one. We're going to head over to Ranting Trans, who's playing some Hollow Knight Silk Song by the looks of things.
Silk Song is now, I think.
Oh, I thought it was. Well, it says getting Hollow Knight Silk Song vibes from this in the title, so I expected the DLC was out. I was mistaken. Goodness.
We've been waiting for that for years.
Really? How long has it been teased? Okay. Well, just Hollow Knight then. Thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. It's been fun. It's been a bit more chill than the past week or so. Yeah, the 69 sub goal. Hopefully next week we'll hit it. Who knows? We might get there one of these days. Anyways, I will talk to you all on... Well, I'm going to be live in the Discord tomorrow, I think. And we're going to continue the Outer Wilds DLC in there instead of here on Twitch. Because I want to focus on my Twitch streams being just chatting and then gaming elsewhere. So, if you are interested in continuing watching me do the Outer Wilds DLC, that's where I'll be doing it. Here's my socials if you've missed them already for some reason. Be kind to yourselves and each other. I love your faces. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you.